Yeah.
Hi, by the way, John.
Oh, no worries, my friend.
And the mysterious Tim just sent an operation report from the last adventure. That was awesome.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, I just saw my email. He just sent. Yeah, I'm sure you. Yeah, you got one too, Will. So yeah.
That's Yep,
Yeah.
there it is, right there.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're on the list. Yeah.
What?
Tommy. Isn't he dead?
He is dead. I thought he was. I thought he was.
I thought he was
dead,
too.
Dead people can technically send emails too. You can just
That's true.
predate them into the future. So, but if you've been dead more than 30 years, it's probably not likely that they didn't have emails. So. Yeah.
Nice. To be honest, Jay, I don't even remember much of that. You're talking about a year ago.
Well, this
I know
year,
I
every
was
week is
there.
like a year. Yeah.
I'd say real quick, I know everyone here but Thomas. Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm John Birchfield. I run Blue Box here, and tell me a little bit about you.
Oh, you're Blue Box. Okay. All right.
You can't tell by my shirt, I know.
So I'm Greyhawk Stories,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's what that's my gig. That's what I do. That's I guess why I'm here. But yeah, nice to meet you.
Problem is. Let's see what the problem is.
Yeah, come on, Carlos. You got this, man. You're smart.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
You-
There we go. Here I
You're
am.
in the bowels of the NSA, man. You can figure out a camera.
Oh, I
Exactly
got
you.
the
Yeah.
I got it. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
The inimitable
Yeah.
TJK. How you doing, Tom?
Doing fantastic.
Good,
Thank
brother.
God.
Good.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
So the general word on the street, Carlos, is that you're going to stop DMing and just go straight player all the time. That's what I've heard.
It's true. I'm retiring.
You're
Yeah. Exactly. You
Once
would
you-
not
once
DM
you-
anymore. Now you would just play. You got the bug. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's a lot less work. I know that.
Yes. Yep.
Amen to that.
It's weird. It's a little weird, actually.
Oh, it's
because it's so much less work.
I got one of my sons decided to learn to dungeon master and picked up the art, and it's just been fantastic. Cause like for the first time in I don't know how long, just to be a player, it's like a totally different experience.
How old is your son?
He's 25.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So I started teaching my kids. My daughter was 9. My son was 6. And then my youngest came along. and we started teaching her. She was 4. She was 3 years behind me too, and it's been one of the greatest family pastimes we've had.
Oh man, I'm jealous. You know, my wife wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let the kids play when they were young. You know, they were just like, that's not. Yeah, so they didn't. It wasn't until they became adults that I introduced them.
Oh wow!
There's
Wow,
a civic ordinance against me reproducing, so I haven't been able to do that.
I have denied all such ordinances, Carlos, and others rejected them. So.
Jay, you need to sell some more advertising.
Yeah, Jay, come on.
He was supposed to have those to you already, wouldn't he? The truck was supposed to already have those to you, wouldn't he? Troll Lord Games, they were supposed to get you that stuff? Oh, I gotcha. Duh.
Love it.
Yeah.
With me.
Jay, Len was the only reason I came on tonight.
By the way, thank you for allowing me my rudeness to eat in front of everybody.
Oh,
I haven't eaten anything now in hours because I've been gaming. So
no worries.
Yeah.
It's only rude when you dive into ice cream.
my
yes,
players
yes.
do that to me.
No, my wife eating beef jerky, like ripping strips off and chewing for 20 minutes. That's the worst. Carlos,
Make it into
thank
character.
you though. I got your message from Amanda today. Like your Lost Dog module was such a hit. We had a
thanks.
great time at Virtual Greyhawk Con. I did tweak it a little bit, but I kept really true to the roots of it. And man, what a great module.
I have
Well done.
not been able to say. I still owe Tommy an email from our talk that we had from
Yeah,
him
it's all good.
reviewing his stuff. I'm so bogged down in work right now; it's beyond belief because I wanted to respond about that personally. I just haven't been able to. I watched the show. You did a great job with the material, man.
No, my offense is already gone. I cursed your name for a few hours and then I let it go. So.
Oh, so that's what that was. I spontaneously grew warts the other day. I wondered what that was.
Oh, yep.
Jay, the crowd is saying that we're having sound problems right now. No.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Jay, that makes me feel so good. I'm not
It's
the only
me.
one that does that.
It's me. Once
It
again,
happens to me all the time.
once again, I set my mic, my XSplit erases every time I got to manually reset it, and I didn't. I set it in Zoom, not an XSplit. I'm an idiot. So one more time, we'll do this again. All right.
Okay.
I apologize. I'm
Well,
gonna
you
do it faster.
Takes it
this
all
time.
back.
I feel so much better now, Jay. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, after 2.5 years, I still do this. I am sorry. So
It's part
I,
of the shtick, man.
yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's true. John Birchfield, Blue Box, Anna Meyer,
Hey.
William Henry Dvorak, Wicked Studios LLC, Carlos Licing, CISL Entertainment, the blogger Tommy John Kelly, Greyhawk Stories, Greyhawk Mike Bridges and his wonderful blog to
I made
Greyhawkery,
it.
and the I bother Jay more than anyone else ever in the history of Discord from the Living Greyhawk era. Casey Brown. Hi, Casey. You okay there? He's at his mom's house, so can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you, man.
You're muted.
I don't know if we have enough
There
bandwidth
it
in
is.
Connecticut for this.
All right. Well, just on and off would be fine, Casey. I appreciate you coming on. All right. So this is what I want to do tonight. Thank you all for coming on. Because you don't know what you're doing. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, you're right. I have no clue what I'm doing half the time on here. Let's just go around. Everyone talk about what they're doing in the Greyhawk community, and we'll start clockwise. John, why don't you take us off, man? Lead us off.
Oh
here.
man, thank you so much, Jay. First of all, it's great to be here. Love it. What an august panel. Really glad to be here with everyone. And Greyhawk it's where I started. I started playing the game back in the late 70s, 78, 79. I was 7 years old. I started with, I mentioned this earlier on the con, but I started with the basic set and the expert set of D&D even before I got into AD&D. And Greyhawk was all you had. You know, we had the original Gygax chainmail world, all that great content. And I played, there you go. That's it. I see it, Mike. So I played that my whole life. I had no idea Twitch was a thing. I played through high school. I played in my early 20s. I started teaching my family, which I mentioned a little bit on the pre-stream, about 10, 12 years ago, how to play D&D, because I knew what it had meant to me. It was so instrumental in my life. It taught me so much about communication, imagination, organization, just the thrill of gaming. This is the
That was me. I hit another wrong freaking button. I'm sorry, John. Go. Oh my God! Go ahead. No, they heard you. I was supposed to hit that. Go ahead.
No,
Oh
you're
my
fine.
God,
So the ever
man.
sort of the ever joy of D&D. There's nothing I've done in my life which gives me the constant sense of wonder and always renewing. And so I wanted to bring that to my kids. And it was about 3 years ago, my son, who's now 19-year-old college student, said, "Dad, you need to be on Twitch." I'm like, no one wants to watch me play D&D. He's like, "Dad, you're an idiot. You need to be on D&D." So I started doing that on Twitch, and I was on a 3.5 system. I do a lot of 1E, 2E stuff. But it was when I got connected with Jay, and he was talking about Greyhawk, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember Greyhawk. I love Greyhawk." That was where and so that started my whole Greyhawk journey. So Greyhawk Awakenings on Tuesday nights now at 5 o'clock Central Time every single week. I have 3 or 4 other streams which are doing everything from a lore master style Arcanum thing to a 3.5 Rune Lords campaign, which is Pathfinder. But I owe so much to Jay, to Anna, to Will, to Carlos. This community has meant everything to me and has really helped blossom our channel. So glad to be on tonight.
Thank you so very much for those nice words, John. And I know we're all very appreciative of that. And as the newest of the 4 streamers that are represented here tonight, it's a pleasure to add you to the team. Hopefully, let's just hope the D&D Greyhawk Streamers Alliance team that we will eventually be able to create here on Twitch, and we're one step away. So let's hope that happens. So thank you for those words, John. And
Good luck following that monologue from John. By the way.
exactly, that's a tough one to follow.
That's
If
a
anyone
tough
can,
one.
Anna can.
So I'm Anna B. Meyer, and I started gaming in 79, 80, and like every gamer, I wanted to write modules and rules and do all sorts of stuff. But I realized that there's so many other people that are way better than at these things than I am. So my speciality was starting to do maps, and I wanted a campaign map with all the details in the world on it. So mid 90s, I started to work on my a new campaign map for my own campaign, much more detailed than Darlene. And I love Darlene's map, but that was one of the major inspiration why I chose Greyhawk, because that map was there. So so I started working on that map, and then the internet came around and I started spreading it, and people liked it, and it became kind of a mainstay in the Greyhawk community. And then I moved to California 10 years ago, and now I'm working full time as a fantasy cartographer. So and Greyhawk is still my kind of pet project. And thanks to all my patrons, I can devote a considerable amount of time every week on working on Greyhawk stuff. So it's awesome. So thank you so much, everyone, for helping me do this, and quality control, telling me what's wrong, what's good, what could be better, and stuff that's invaluable.
Well, and everyone knows Anna is like the mainstay of this. You know, if I'm ever down, Anna could take over and run things here. So that's a great thing to know.
So,
So-
Jay and Anna, I think she said her maps have become something of a mainstay
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
Yeah,
community.
right.
Yeah,
That
they
is
have
such
kind
an
of
undersell.
Definitely. So, Will.
Oh, hello. I'm William Henry Dvorak. Will. I'm the head DM for Wicked Studios LLC, which is our streaming company / well, whatever the hell I want to do company. We have Tuesday nights, 9:30 Eastern Time is the Greyhawk Adventures. I also write and a blog called the Greyhawk Companion, which I think I've been doing that now for 5 months, maybe. Not terribly long. So, yeah, that's it.
Well, that I know that I'm going to have a return to the blogger episode coming up, and I'm going to add you into that group with, the 4 I had before, and David should be on shortly, and hopefully we can get a hold of Jason and add you into that blogging community group and see if we can get Alan
It
on.
was easy to get started because all I did was start taking DM prep work, editing it, and then throwing it onto the internet.
It's awesome. It really is. It's a fantastic addition, Will, and definitely thank you. Casey.
Hello. So, if I understood correctly, kind of filling everyone in on who we are and how we got into Greyhawk. I, like many of the people here, got into the old box sets before AD&D, and I think probably the original folios is what got me, and the Gord the Rogue novels tying into the setting were a big inspiration for me. I'm even gonna say the Rose Estes novels. They had IUs in him, and he was a clown. But hey, at least it was set in Greyhawk. Even though we all disavow that stuff now. And then, I home campaigned in both Forgotten Realms and Greyhawk off and on through high school, and then college, and in the Army. Then after the Army, I was working in a bookstore. And these guys came in and bought a copy of the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And they said, "Oh, it's this really neat D&D campaign where you can play the same character anywhere in the world." And I was like, "Cool, sign me up." So that was about a year 2 of that, 2002, and I quickly became active in the campaign. And I think everyone is now aware. Everyone on the planet should now be aware of my book. Hit it, Mike. Because I'm at my mom's house and I don't have a copy. Yeah,
There it is.
I knew he was ready. So obviously the Bandit Kingdoms is my love and my passion there. But I love hearing about the rest of Greyhawk. I'm currently running a Ghosts of Saltmarsh 5e campaign in which I've modified a little bit. So I'm trying to detail the town of Seaton for a future Orworth Journal article for Christoph. And things of that nature. So just happy to be here and been really enjoying playing in Jay's AD&D games as well, because that takes me back to my childhood when we would argue about everything.
Yes, it does.
And while the rest of Greyhawk is pretty cool, the Bandit Kingdoms is the best place in Greyhawk. We know it, Casey. It's okay.
Oh, absolutely. And Will was in the Sunday running of the BK tourney at the con last weekend, and he did a great job with Sergei the Rene. I was not able to kill him. He was a little too wily for me.
I didn't get into combat. I think I attacked once. Let everybody else do that stuff.
It's very smart in that Casey game. And I'm so glad that tournament went off so well and everyone was excited about it. And Mike, you were part of the winning team, right? Yes,
Yep.
Mike was
Yep.
part of the winning team in that, which is fantastic.
I was whipping them into shape. Got to keep moving.
Very, very cool. Carlos, thanks for coming. I know you're beat because you just finished up a game. Thank you for coming on.
I did just get finished with the game, but I don't even know why I'm here. I'm actually just a Russian hacker. No, seriously. Carlos A. Slicing. I'm from Castle Entertainment. I'm the lead designer and the owner of the company. We do adventure modules. I was inspired after running after playing in Alan Growe's one of his games, Great Alan Growe, at Gary Con several years ago. I thought to myself, you know what? He ran such a great adventure for Castle Greyhawk that I wanted to do something for him in return. So I came up with this adventure called Kill Marquesa. He was actually unable to play in that one, but Mike was. He was at that first session for me. Luke Gygax and a couple other people were there, and I'm one of those kind of people that I bite off more than I can chew all the time. So when I did the cartography, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I actually had a real encounter key with this? Well, wouldn't it be cool if I actually had a cover with this? Wouldn't it be cool if I, had a published version of this to give out to people who I felt was most valuable player? The next thing I knew, people were saying, "Hey, why don't you try and do this? I think you could do this." I really wasn't sold, to be honest with you, at first, but then I thought to myself, you know what? Nobody is doing anything for Greyhawk right now, and I was concerned that the setting we love would if nobody was really doing anything and to attend to it in a kind of an official way, I wanted to do something so that we had some kind of support somewhere. And next thing I knew, I was publishing modules. And that's what I've been doing ever since. My wife and I did a count. I've done over 2,000 pages in 2 years now between my Patreon and my modules. I just finished 2 days ago, finishing up our 21st module. So I'm really excited about it. And I've got one coming out in February as well.
Hey, Carlos, so real quick, I got to jump in here. As a module aficionado, and I've seen this stuff for decades, when I started diving into your content, and it was at Jay's behest, Jay told me there were 2 Patreons I should be part of, Anna B. Meyer, Carlos Lysing. And I jumped into Castle Entertainment, and as I'm going through your modules, they are a DM's dream. Just the right amount of content, but descriptions and then flexibility for DMs. They are so well designed for a DM to plug into any game world. Obviously, they're Greyhawk friendly, the free city, but they're great modules. If you are not part of what Carlos is doing, you are missing out.
I'm half Asian,
Yeah,
so you
like
probably
that.
can't tell how bad I'm blushing right now. But my face is on fire, I can assure you. But no, seriously, thanks for the kind words, John. Hearing it from somebody that knows the setting like you do, has played as long as you have, is like, you can't ask for anything more as a designer. It's super gratifying when people say that about my work.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
And the great thing about
it's
Carlos, he's like the
fantastic.
gold standard for putting out third-party Greyhawk, and he's got the artwork, he's got the mapping, he's got the descriptive nature in there.
The PCs, like if you want, pre-scripted PCs, you got the backstories, like so much to help a DM.
I'm pleased to tell you guys too that we've now made enough money through the Patreon that this last module, I just put the finishing touches on. It features official published cartography from a real cartographer, not me. It's the guy who's doing his Glenn Seal, who does the stuff for Hyperborea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Glenn is a really good guy, and I was able to cut
Beautiful.
because the Patreon. The Patreon, all it does is it allows me to reinvest in the product. And the next module that you'll see, which is my charity module, which was coming in January, and I'll talk a little bit about that more later if I have time. That's actually got interior artwork as well. So thank you for everybody for allowing me to make these modules exactly what I want them to be.
No problem, Carlos. No problem at all. So
I'm
let's
very
go.
impressed
Let's go downward because we hear from Mike on Wednesdays a lot. We'll go Mike last, but Tommy John Kelly, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much for having me on. It's I just enjoy hanging out with you guys. So this is I like watching your shows, and you guys are all kind of like my heroes. So it's just cool to be here with you. But I'll just tell you my story really quickly. It's a really short one. I played Dungeons and Dragons back at the end of the 70s, early 80s. Well, probably all the way till about 1990, 91, something like that, somewhere around there. Then all of a sudden I had children, and a life and everything. And well, thank God, that's over. And so I'm back to, I came back, but yeah, so it was I missed a lot in the interim. I missed that whole living Greyhawk period. And I was really astonished about that. And because I got the Gazetteer, you know, and was like, whoa, how did this happen? And so much had so much of the story had moved forward from just the kind, you know, the modules that we were playing. And it really suddenly it felt like you know, the campaign, the whole campaign world, and then Anna's maps, you know, and I was following Mike's blog, and it was all coming back to me, and it was becoming this much bigger world even than it had been back when I was playing in the day, right? You know, it's like there was this progress of a narrative development of the world that just seemed epic in scope to me. And of course, having missed it all and not being able to access any of the living Greyhawk modules made them all the more, you know, all the more tantalizing, because they were out there somewhere and I couldn't see them. But so that's basically my story. You know, I came back into the world of Greyhawk, and I wanted to contribute, and I wanted to contribute like I'd seen Anna doing, like I'd seen Mike doing. As like, what can I offer here? And so I've just been writing some stories. But originally with the blog, I had thought that, you know, what I'd like to see is other people to submit their own stories, and, you know, we'll just post stories, like just like be a repository of Greyhawk lore, because I love that Paul Kidd stuff. I love the original Gord novels and that sort of thing. You know, and I wanted more. And it troubled me that Forgotten Realms had so many books. You know, there's so much fiction driving Forgotten Realms and so little Greyhawk fiction by comparison. So that's my story.
So we welcome Leonard and David on, and everyone knows both these gentlemen very much. And Leonard, yeah, good to see. We were a little worried that you weren't gonna, you know, we started a half hour early, but don't worry, you know.
Leonard, I told Jay you're the only reason I'm here. I was
yes.
gonna if you didn't show up. So
I have the first question after we get through introductions to Leonard specifically, and then we'll take it from everyone. So Mike, why don't you tell a little bit about your blog there?
Hey everybody. Mike Bridges, Greyhawkery, been doing it for 10 years. Also did a Castle Greyhawk webcomic.
Yes.
Also did other Greyhawk comic strips.
Yeah.
Been active in Cannon Fire since probably 2002. Before that, I really wish I had been more involved in the Greyhawk community online. I think technical issues, you know, bad internet back in the day was what kept me from getting more involved. But boy, have things changed in the last 20 years.
Exactly.
Here we all are.
Exactly.
Well done, Mike.
Yes. David, happy to everyone from Canada. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving.
I'm late.
That's okay. We understand. David, why don't you, a little bit about yourself and your wonderful blog.
Oh, sorry. I have dog issues.
That's okay.
That's okay. We like animals.
All right. So I'm the newcomer to the group, I suppose. You know, I started back in '82 playing, you know, but just like Tommy, you know, like life got in the way, you know, like there was, I don't know, lack of group, lack of participation, whatever it also it's like, and I was completely oblivious to everything that went on with this community for 25 years until well, we started playing sporadically. It also it's like with another group, and then DMing again because I always seem to DM, and you know that kind of panned out. So I started watching all this stuff on online, and I came across Legends and Lore, and next thing you know, it's like I had this urge also it's like to participate, and so I just kind of like threw myself into it, and then started my blog, Greyhawk Musings. And apparently people say it was quite as a splash to begin with, because I came out of nowhere. And then, well, you know, now I'm running the Facebook page, Greyhawk Musings, and also where I'm trying to draw from other people's blog sites and all. So it's like, and try to send as much traffic there as I possibly can as well, no matter how old it might be.
Well, and I know I see every week when you go welcome new members, you're blasting on new members on that site every
Yeah.
week, which is fantastic.
And
got a
thank you.
ton
You
of-
post on our Discord all the time. Your stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
absolutely.
Even though you're a neophyte, 82, man, what are you doing?
All right. So last but not least, the legend himself. Which, think about this, if he didn't start back in the day with Gary, we'd have a lot of typos in the Player's Handbook first edition. We know that for
Yes.
sure. And we'd have a lot shorter articles in the Dragon magazine. We know that for sure, right, Leonard? Welcome,
Yeah.
Leonard. Good to see you.
Well, I'm still stuck in the year 577.
That's okay.
Is where I'm at. So I haven't gone past the Greyhawk Wars yet.
Tell, because we got some new viewers out here from Autumn Revel. Tell people what you've written and tell them, because a lot of people don't know you are Leomund. People don't know that. So,
Well, you know, I wrote for the Dragon for quite a while,
Yep.
30 some things, and I wrote for Gygax magazine and a few other things. Let me just
Yep.
have a look. Footprints, I wrote a lot for that, and some for Earth Journal.
Yeah.
And then I wrote my own own diplomacy magazine long ago, and it was original Dungeons and Dragons.
and
Dipping magazine was Liaisons Dangereuses.
which goes way back. And
Well, there was a movie called Liaisons Dangereuses.
I did not know that. And that was a wargaming magazine for the most part, correct?
Oh no!
No?
No, that was a movie about
No, you're.
seduction and promiscuity. It was wonderful.
That's awesome. And if you don't know, Len is the writer of published TSR L1, Bonehill, L2, The Assassin's Knot, which is rated in the One magazine as one of the top 30 modules of all time, and L3, Deep Dwarven Delve. So,
And L4 and L5.
and L4 and L5.
Yeah.
And maybe one more, we'll see. So, Len, I'm going to ask you this first question after one thing. So you guys are all signing up for, you don't even know what the giveaway is yet. So I am, thanks to Troller Games, I'm going to give away the digital copies of these two and the map set again. Remember I did 3 of these last week? For the Luke Gygax, this is to celebrate Autumn Revel, you know, both books and also the map set for Gaxmore. All right, so you get a complete digital set for that. And the other giveaway, I have one left over as Reaper's Pirate High Seas Horror paint set. All right, so there'll be the 2 giveaways tonight. Some very nice stuff from our 2 main sponsors, that sponsors channel, and from Virtual Greyhawk Con. All right, you ready? Here's the question. We'll start with Len. I'm going to make this specific to Len, but then we'll widen it out. So 2.5 years ago, you were on Facebook, and I started harassing you about getting on this show. And you remember you put me off for 6 to 9 months, which I understand completely. And Anna and I both tried. So after that, and you came, I think it was number 55, Gabbin, you've been on it. You've had to have been on 30, 40 times by now. How has that changed your perspective on what's going on in the Greyhawk community? And do you think it's like enriched what you're doing now? Like, you know, helped it out with discussions?
Well,
you know,
it all depends on. Are we talking about after the Greyhawk Wars or aren't we?
Understood.
Because that's my dividing line.
Got it.
After Gygax lost the company, I was one of those people who was persona non grata at TSR, and whoever owned them at that point in time.
But
So,
to you personally, have you had fun? I'm assuming because you come on twice a week, you're actually having fun doing, you know, discussing this with people.
well, yeah, you know, it's like a 7-year itch. You know?
That's cool. Okay, I wanted to know, like, deep down. I know you've had a long career with in D&D's at your heart. Are you hopeful that what we're doing here will keep that going for a fair amount of time?
World of Greyhawk is certainly one of the better worlds. And if Gygax did nothing other than create a world of Greyhawk, he still would have been famous
Okay.
because he has so much detail in there. But yet, it's a wide open thing. You can add towns and creations almost anywhere in the world of Greyhawk that you want to,
Yeah.
because it's wide open for you. And then if you get somebody wonderful like Anna to draw the map for you, you're really in good shape.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. It's yeah, that's a big draw with Greyhawk.
All right, so we're
Maybe
gonna.
you witnessed Anna do a map while she's physically there doing it, making all the moves and maneuvers and moving the words around and adding the lines and all of that stuff. You ever watched her do that?
I have.
Oh
that
think
yeah.
I've
privilege.
had-
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah, a
incredible.
few of you have, but I haven't done that many. I haven't done any live streams of me sitting mapping because I thought it would be too boring to watch.
Oh
I
no,
just thought it was
It-
breathtaking.
it's intimidating, is what it
To
is.
be at that level, I don't know how much software I'd have to buy. Probably mind-boggling.
Well,
mind-boggling amount.
Yeah, I pay about
And I have to learn how to
150.
use it too.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah.
So one more quick question for Len. So you and Tim Cass get along, correct? That was a
Mhm.
question from the audience.
Tim Kask, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the first editor of The Dragon, I think.
So awesome. Just wanted, someone asked
He
that.
converted,
Jay and asked it.
converted a lot of my stuff and typed it in.
Okay.
That was amazing, some of the stuff he did for me.
Very, very cool. All right, we're gonna roundtable this. John, what do you think? What effect has this community that is really? All right, let's start. Let's step back 10 seconds. A year and a half ago, it is the following. Okay, I don't think that either Tommy or David had started blogging yet. A year and a half ago, it's close. Right around that
I'm not
time.
even on a year yet.
Okay.
I was going a year and a half ago.
Okay. Tommy had just started. Mike's was out there. Jason was doing stuff, and it was the following: myself, Will, and Carlos. Right? Carlos, you're just starting. Will and I had been in it for about, we 2, a year at that time, and that was it really, because the other channel I won't name was gone, and yeah, Will's laugh. You're not supposed to laugh, Will.
Oh yeah, I am.
and that was it. And we had to start building things back up, and we've done it. And I just want to get I want to get your thoughts on the community as a whole, where and your thought about that. And the newest person to join that's John. So as far as streamers go, so John, we'll start with you.
Hey, thank you so much, Jada. So, like as I mentioned earlier, I've been playing for a long time. Yes, that means I'm old. You can see the gray. I'm not as old as Jay though, so that's good.
Yes.
And for me, I was laboring in anonymity. I was just playing with local friends, local groups. Played in high school, escapist society. Taught my kids as I got older. I had no idea this community existed, and so I had moved on to 3.5. I was working some Pathfinder stuff. I looked at Eberron. I was like, I did nothing. And when I met Jay, because I was working Galarian primarily, and then I have a 4th Age Lord of the Rings campaign, which is fully customized. And I like 4th Age because it's past all the canon of 3rd Age. And there's a lot of ambiguity to Tolkien's work when you get into the 4th Age and what happens after the War of the Ring. So that was I like operating in those things. And when I met Jay and I saw what he was doing, I'm like, Greyhawk, I love Greyhawk. I remember Greyhawk. My first characters were all Greyhawk. And that really blossomed a relationship between the two of us. I'm sorry, you know what I mean. Anyway, so
Awesome.
Yeah, we do.
yeah. And what it's done is it's revitalized my passion for the game and the old school elements of the game. I've always loved 1E, 2E. Jay, for example, has influenced me. I was already doing mini work. I had minis and I had terrain. But Jay takes it to another level. So it's provocative for me. I'm like, well, crap, I can get better at that. And then things like group initiative, which I had played until about 7 years ago. And I went to the individual initiative systems that were more common to the newer systems. But I never really liked them that much. I felt like they bogged down the combat. It made the initiative less impactful. And just little things like that Jake has influenced me in. Some are specific to Greyhawk. Some are specific sort of 1E, 2E elements that I bring into my 3.5 game. But I'd say the bottom line is what I said earlier on the Gary Con stream that we had about additions at 3 o'clock today, is that there's so much content for Greyhawk, and you cannot replace what's been done over the last 4 decades with a new world or a new system that's maybe got 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You go back to those Dragon magazines I was showing, or all the different box sets that we have. And as a DM, that rich lore that can be mined has been, I think, one of the most gratifying things to me. So I've just loved being part of the Greyhawk community. As I said before, meeting Anna, meeting Carlos, Mike, Leonard, David, Will, all you guys have been so influential to me. And it has really grown the influence of our channel. And I like showing that. So if you look at my last thing I'll say, Jake, my Tuesday night Greyhawk Awakening campaign. That campaign's been going for, I think, 6 months now. It's my fastest growing campaign. We'll pull a really good, solid number of viewers every Tuesday night. Every single player had never played anything but 5e, with the exception of one of the players I brought to the campaign, Evelyn. And she had never played anything until I showed her what I play is basically 3.5 with 1E and 2E elements. And as I'm introducing, they had never heard of Greyhawk. None of them had ever played in Greyhawk. They had no concept of the lore. And some of them are millennial, some are Gen Z. And as I'm introducing them to this, and they're seeing what their minds are blown. And so now I've got all these 20-something-year-old new players who all they'd really seen was 5e, and they're buying the Greyhawk box sets and the From the Ashes box sets, and they're getting everything off eBay, and they're immersing themselves in the lore. It has been absolutely transformational.
That gives me hope.
Yep.
It should give us, right? It does. That there's a way to reach out to that generation. I know Carlos and I have discussed this a lot in the past, that like, oh man, we're the old school, when we're gone, what's going to happen? But that gives me a lot of hope.
Well, hell, that's why I created Castle Entertainment to begin with. I mean, hearing John say that is such an inspiring thing for me. I don't agree with him at all about individual initiative, but that's everything else. Because when you take away individual initiative, all you're doing is mitigating player dexterity bonuses.
No, there's actually ways you can make that happen too. Well, that's off stream though. We'll take that later.
Okay. All right.
It's for It's the way it works out better for miniatures. It's just I know that's a great thing. We're all different DMs too, and that's the cool thing. None of us are alike, which is so awesome about it. So Anna, what do you think about that?
For me, it's been a wonderful joyride to get into, but I had a much longer start in this. A lot of you got flung into it quicker and more faster to stardom, so to speak. For me, it was a 20-year slowly get into the community, meaning I started putting out my website about 20 years ago, little over 20 years ago, and then I gradually got I got an email every month or two, and I put on my blog saying that, oh, can you help me with this? And maybe I got an email once every month or two. I got an email, and then when PayPal came around, I started putting a little PayPal donate button, and maybe 6 months there was like $10 coming in, and I got more and more email and stuff, and then Facebook came, and all of a sudden, but now it's kind of gone on steroids, so to speak. So it's now I get like 25, 30 emails a day, and I get lots of people asking. I got one wonderful email today. Someone had analyzed my Niron thing and wrote a 2-page thesis on Niron and sent me and stuff. So it was amazing comments and stuff. So now and there's some errors and stuff that needs to be looked into and stuff. So now I get the most awesome Greyhawk people helping me making the maps better, and also now I feel like I'm much more part of the community, and it's so much fun. So it's just so now it's become my job. So it's my full-time job. Keep doing stuff like this, and that's thanks to the community. So you giving me a new career too. So it's just awesome. So yeah,
You're our Queen Yolande.
Yes, absolutely. And I gotta bust my own stones. First time Anna and I met, what did you think? Who did you think I was, Anna?
Oh yes, that was yeah. I need to tell the story. The funny thing was that 2 years ago at Gen Con, Marco came up and just said that, oh, we're a gaming group. We've been playing for 40 years, and our DM has the most awesome game basement with all the stuff, whatever, and so on and so forth. We talked for like 10 minutes, and then the maelstrom of people at Gen Con just shoved Marco away, and that was it. And then a few months afterwards, I watched this kind of awesome YouTube video about a story, a guy that had a whole basement full of them. I realized that is probably the guy that Marco played with, and so on. So I simply thought so, and then Jay and me connected, and I simply thought it was the same guy first, and was like, no, they don't look alike, and then was like, yeah, so it's not the same. So yeah.
Yes,
So that was
she
just
thought I was
funny.
Robert Wardall. There, I said
Yep.
it. Done. Over with
Yep.
that discussion.
Whoa,
Yeah.
you're not Robert?
No, no. But someone on another stream said, "Oh, you're that guy on that video." I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So just
The
Mhm.
first time we talked, Jay, I said the same thing to you. Remember
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
was-
yeah. That's the
It's
you
the
I
know,
think I
curse.
saw a video on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my freaking curse in my life now.
Yep.
So, Will, what do you think about that question?
Well,
'Cause you and I go
it's-
back to the beginning of the
When-
low point in the Greyhawk streaming. You know,
when I got started, there was only the Greyhawk channel.
Yeah.
And because me and you basically got started right at the same time,
Yeah.
roughly. And I was looking into getting into streaming, and then I was gonna do Greyhawk. So first thing I did is I did a little research, and I was like, oh, there's just this. And then so I was like, all right, let's go ahead and get that started. And I gotta say, hands down, Jay, you are by far the best face for the community.
oh man, dude, you know,
Because
that was nice.
because
Thank
there
you.
was
Yeah.
not really a community before there was you. There
Oh,
was
dude.
individuals, and then you came along and you helped put all this together, and you brought everybody together. And now what we have is where we can all get on and we can talk about something and disagree about which initiative is better, you know.
And you can all be wrong.
Yeah.
Dude, man, you're making me tear up, man.
Exactly.
Shit.
But the best thing about the community is that you have a place where you can come, and if you have a question, there's a multiple of different places and people you can go and throw your question up, and you can get answers, and you can get help as far as, you know, what you would like for a game. It's like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this kind of campaign, and I want to put like these sort of aspects in it. Where, you know, you guys got any pointers? And you'll get bombarded with things. It's definitely an all hands on sort of thing. And now that we have a focal and a collection where we all come together and meet, it just makes it all that better. And I think it makes a lot of other people pay attention. That's all I'm going to say about that.
No, it's so true. Like
True.
he gives a platform for all of us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
like he has helped us in so many ways.
It's a community. It's a full community effort because, look, Anna does. I mean, but look at the background I have on the stream here. It's Anna's customized map, right? I had Brian Blumklotz started me off on heraldry, did some. I mean, so it's not just. I mean, it's a team effort all around.
Yeah.
You know, to get things up and running, and all right, Bill, I know you're on, but I have the best. What I have like one of the best crafters there is. Right? I mean, he makes the show too, my show. I mean, Bill, thank you so very much. And then I got Tim.
Well, Jay, I got that. So anybody that's watched Greyhawk Awakening, they will understand what I'm saying here. I am trying to lure Bill away in the same way that Lilith is luring Winston away from Shorewind, the Cavalier's horse, like every session. I am luring Bill away from you, my friend.
Oh man. Well, he lives 2 miles from me, so it's gonna be you're gonna have to make a move to Nashville or something there.
Hey,
So
familiarity breeds contempt.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's true in itself, absolutely. But thank you all for the very nice comments. Mike, what do you think about this discussion on like, because you've been the blogger, you're the going back. So
Well, he's in his name, Greyhawk Mike.
that's it.
That's on your
Yeah.
that's on your
That's
license, right?
Yeah, that's actually my stream name on forums, and otherwise I went by Mortellin.
I got to hold on, not to interrupt. The first time I heard Greyhawk Mike was on the Conan podcast for That's where I first time I ever heard you. I listened to that. I was like, hey, I know who that guy is.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I've podcasted with my friends before. Just kind of been this gradual progression of content creation. It's crazy. Me and Anna met at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like forever ago.
Yeah.
And then then we start streaming, and even that's kind of evolved. Got more sophisticated, let's say. I had contemplated streaming doing art on my own, but due to again my technical limitations, I abandoned that. I try to live as easy life as possible. I don't want to overdo things like Carlos. God bless you. But I'm really trying to just do what I'm capable of these days.
And I know Tommy and both David said you're their inspirations. Let's go. Let's hop to them both next. Let's do the three bloggers and next. Tommy, what do you think about the whole topic there?
Well, I think it's fantastic to see this renaissance. I've heard from so many different people that their journey is similar to my own, where we reached an age where we left Dungeons and Dragons and left the FLNS, and then have come around full circle. It's almost like this. I don't know what it is. It's like some sort of like midlife crisis or something, or some sort of nostalgia kick or something like that. But it was like, for me to return to the world of Greyhawk and to return to Dungeons and Dragons was like, there's a whole part of my brain that had been dormant for 20 years or something that just kind of like exploded out there. And it was just like, I don't know, it was like this other consciousness that returned to me. And then to be able to like connect like this, to connect even by whatever capacity and whatever forum, whether you're talking about streaming or on Facebook or on blogs or whatever the situation is, that we are sharing this co-creation, that we're all kind of like, we're contributing to this evolving co-creation. There's some aspect of the divine spark in there that just resonates with me. And so it's just great. I'm absolutely thrilled that there is such a robust community. When I first started like searching for Greyhawk stuff, the only thing I could find was Mike. That was the only thing that I could find that was active. That was it. And then I found Anna's maps, of course, which was that was a godsend. But at the time, my computer was so weak that I download Anna's map. It was just like,
if you download the PDF version, it kills any computer on the planet.
Yeah,
I upgraded my computer, Anna, just to handle your map. So
yeah.
I'm glad you said something about that, Tom, because for a while there, there was hardly anything out there, and I really felt like what was keeping me going was like, someone's got to like carry this flag around, and so I'm just putting out content on a weekly basis, no matter how stupid and ridiculous it was, or if I'm just talking about what's in the news,
Right. And then there was Joe Block, and that's good. That was fantastic too. But yeah, you were like the John the Baptist out there, the voice in the wilderness, right?
He was eating locusts.
Anything to survive.
That's awesome.
So we had chats and we had forums and whatever, but I didn't really know the involvement of everyone. And I think with the technology we have now, it's been much easier to connect and other than at conventions and stuff. So it's good to know that your work is being seen.
Mm-hmm.
David, what do you think about that with the three main key bloggers, and Will as a fourth now? I will say, right, Will? So we got four great bloggers on right now, which is fantastic.
Well, there's a couple others too. There's still Joe Block, and there's
right.
Alan still has his, and also though they're not putting out as much content as
True.
The four of us are. But well, it's like you were saying, is that we're all pretty much kind of like we're all giving each other a boost in a way, and also because we all have each other's, our links onto each other's pages and such. And also, and I see that my stuff does come from the other bloggers as well. But like what we were saying earlier, it's whether you know it or not, you're the hub of the community right now, Jay. Also because without you, ever since DM Shane went into hiatus, because his was the first talk show that I saw. When they were drinking in the afternoon. I think Mike was the very first guest that he had.
Nice.
And,
Tales from the Green Dragon, I think it was called, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So one thing I noticed was one of my more recent appearances might have been like last week or something when we started talking about Vecna, and someone had Anna mentioned also like the history that I compiled from him about him, and literally it's like the next day the number of hits that my site had like doubled, like on a daily for a daily basis. But what I find is I'm almost like the archaeologist to the bunch. And also it's like I'm going at all these PDFs and books and so on, and also because literally everything's scattered all over the place. And also there's little bits of information here and there and so on, and also it takes a long time to compile it.
Yep.
But what I noticed though is when I was just doing nothing but histories, my numbers started dropping off, and so I thought, it's not like I'm not interested in what I'm doing, but I was getting bored with the tediousness of spending all that time hunched over to the computer searching out all this stuff. So then I started doing the biographies, and then I started with looking into classic modules, and then when Rich asked me to contribute for the cannon fire, for these those postcards for countries, and I was doing that entire northeast corner, and I said, well, I'll do those 5. Not realizing how much work that was going to take.
David, I did 6, so I own 4. So there you go. All right, out of the group here, how many have contributed to that? Raise your hand. Who have done it?
I'm scheduled to, but
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
delinquent, so-
Will, I thought you did one too.
should,
Will,
I
didn't you
should.
do one?
I should, yeah.
Just
Well-
one.
Oh yeah, I know Mike did. Will, I thought you were going to do one. No. I think Will's frozen.
Will did 2.
Yeah, Will did
the
too. I think
Rovers.
Will may have DC'd.
He did the Rovers, and he did the
Yeah.
the Pale.
Yeah, I told Rich no one else was allowed to do the Bandit Kingdoms.
That makes sense. That's fair.
Well, we knew that we would never be able to, do that with the same level of detail.
Yeah, I think Will DC'd.
He will be back again, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
No one's mentioning dragonsfoot.com or .org. That's a rich place full of stuff.
It is, Len, and we've reached out to him. I've tried. It's like, all right, I'm not bad mouthing anyone here. I've reached out. There's certain places that we have not been able to break into, and some people have been more successful. There and 10 Cars Tavern, I've had trouble getting involved into the community as much as I would like, right? And there's a couple others out there, like, Frog Guide Games. Troll Lord's been unbelievable, and everyone's got to, let's all just say they are all fully on board with whatever we're doing in this community now, because they know, their content, especially their Castles and Crusades, may rely on what we're actually doing here. And so Chuck has been, and Steven Chenault have been fantastic. But there's a couple places, and what we normally do is we talk, and then I pick one, and especially Zarathon directs me a lot. He's like, do this. I'm like, all right. So I go, and there's some that we just have not been able to connect with, and that's one of them. So if anyone has a great connection to Dragon's Foot, let me know, and I will reach out to him directly. Like Grog Talk, Carlos and Puppet Dad, Jason Jacobson, were instrumental in making that connection. There's one we made. They participate in Greyhawk Con. So, I'm all about connecting the bridges and connecting the dots. So, Glenn, that's what it is. I just can't, I haven't been able to successfully reach out to him presently.
Let me see what I can do.
There you go, man. That's awesome. Great
By
to
the way,
hear.
Leonard, I'd not heard of Dragon's Foot. Shame on me.
Old school.
I just pulled it up. That's a great site. Thank you so much.
That's
Absolutely.
been around a long time.
The original one. Len, that would be fantastic. Carlos, what do you think about this this topic here, this question?
Well, I think most people here that have already said something have already encapsulated a lot of my thoughts on how I feel about the community.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, for me, I started Castle Entertainment because in lieu of official Greyhawk support. But for me, one of the coolest things about it is I've met at different conventions and different through streaming and through UJ and through all my other people. I've met really cool people here, like John. Like I met Casey through Cannon Fire way back in the day. I met Mike through Cannon Fire. Tommy, I met through his blog, and him and I had a Zoom conversation not long ago, in which we kind of discussed some stuff about an Igoliv article. David is one of my favorite people to read online. I love his blog, and Anna, obviously your work speaks for itself. I would have never gotten a chance to meet the great Leonard Lakofka had it not been for this community. So for me, the community, it means most to me because I could have created Greyhawk in a vacuum. I could have written my modules in a vacuum if I wanted to, but it's not meaningful unless you have people that you care about and that support you and you like what they do. And
Exactly.
we all have different take, like we said earlier, we all have different takes on the way that Greyhawk isn't, should be, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is, Gary gave us that setting as so open-ended that we can all make of it what we wanted to. So that's the idea. You make of it what you want to. So for me, the cool thing is knowing that I'm not in a vacuum, sharing it with people that I care about and that I see as kindred spirits, people that I feel like, I can connect with. John and I had a conversation when we were done on our Zoom conversation the other day. We're like, were we separated at birth and just never knew it? Are you like my handsome older brother, that more talented older brother that I don't know
It's so
about?
true. It's so true.
Because we had so many things in common with each other. I wouldn't be streaming if it wasn't for Jay's help. Mike Bridges is solely responsible for this module that I just wrote right over here, just because I know him. He's the one that encouraged me to do so much of my stuff. Mike's a huge inspiration to me. Casey helped me through, kind of crystallize some of the stuff I wanted to do with a PBEM that I wrote for a little while. It gave me the idea, I actually want to do this in a certain way. And he challenged me in that game. So, I mean, everybody does their different things, and it's really meaningful to me on a personal level as well as a professional level. That the community is all about friendships to me. They're all about relationships. Not really. I love the game. I love Greyhawk. But when I'm done with everything, that's what I'm going to take away from this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well said.
Unbelievably well said. Casey, you want to finish this topic up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that Carlos and Mike mentioned Cannon Fire. I mean, obviously that is
Oh,
for me the biggest board. I'm not a Dragon's Foot person. Where's Gary tonight? He should be on here because Cannon Fire is its own virtual community. And the great chats, I'd pop on a Thursday night on IRC. There's probably people out there that have
So
no
many
idea
late
what we're
night
talking about.
chats.
Yeah, on IRC and just chat with people about Greyhawk stuff, random topics and things like that. Malden's Greyhawk, his website, another huge website out there for people to look at. But I think what
darn. I think we got
we're
Jason.
seeing is
He's
with the
coming
emergence
around.
of
Yeah, we have
Discords, we have a
Jason.
real time.
You're chopping
We
up.
have a real time.
Go ahead. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
am I?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll get through it. Go ahead.
Okay. The Discords give us a real time community, which is amazing. And then relationships, we saw that during Living Greyhawk. The living wasn't just the campaign, it was the players. We had Yahoo groups where people could organize in Houston and Dallas and Oklahoma just for the Bandit Kingdoms. All over the world, they had Yahoo groups and they could meet and they could make friendships. And I'm still friends with some of these people. The campaign ended in 2008, so that was 12 years ago, and some of them are still playing games together. I think we were talking to the Australian guys, right? The Australian triad members are running a Shieldlands game 12 years after the end of
Crazy.
Living Greyhawk. So you make friends in this game. And I think this virtual community is now at the point where we're not just becoming people who know each other by, that's Greyhawk Mike. No, that's Mike.
Well said.
Sure.
He's not more telling really to me.
Ah, man.
That's fantastic. And you know, we're talking about all the folks in the community. I want to also mention Greyhawk Online, Christoph,
Yep.
the stuff that they're posting there.
Earth
OJ34 is about to come out here pretty soon. I think Jay's got some content in there. I have some content on there. Probably some others of you do. And that's a lot of good work as well. And that's part of this renaissance of the community. And when I say renaissance, to me, it does feel like a rebirth. But I know if you're Greyhawk Mike, you know, you're like, hey, I've been here for years. Where were you? Right?
Well, that's why I want to ask. Some of you guys who were out of the scene for a while, were you lurking or anything? I'm just curious.
Stalking, more like it.
I had no idea. Mike. I mean, I was doing my own thing. As I said, I was not part of the Twitch community. I was not part of the online forums. I was just playing D&D and my friends and my communities and my people and my games. And I had my own style. And when I bumped into this, I was like, holy crap. I had no idea this was out here, any of it. And it's just been fantastic.
So a real quick story. John and I got together, and at one point I said, John, homebrew's great. It's really cool. But if you want to get the community behind you, whatever community it is, you want to run an existing published, you know, source game, whether it's Forgotten Realms or, you know, whatever it may be. And I said, this community is wonderful. You'd be a wonderful asset to it. And you do a little couple. You remind me of myself when I started. Let's, you know, can we do this? And I was like, yeah. And then it snowballed from there. So, and you know, John's got a great cast and got a great style, and it's been such a pleasure.
And look, I'm still going to launch my homebrew at some point, Jay. But to your point, I go back to what Casey and what David said a moment ago. I remember poring over Darlene's maps when I was 12 years old, and just the inspiration and all the memories as they came flooding back. I was like, screw whether or not I get support and viewers. I want to be part of this movement. I believe in this. It's been fantastic.
The community has been wonderful, and a lot of this, why I wanted to do this tonight during Autumn Revel, was to show to the GaryCon community we're here. You know, Carlos, that's your big con, right? That's you. That's, you know, and that's why I figured during Autumn Revel, let's get everyone together here and just show them what we're all about. And it's going very, you know, I really thank everyone for coming on here.
You know, there's a lot of groups on Facebook that that feature various things involving Greyhawk or first edition or second edition. And there's a lot of material there. When I design something, I usually plop it into 4 different groups. Not always the same 4, but edition 1 uncensored is the one I almost always touch. And it is run by the people who ran CathCon out in North Carolina, I think. But they gave it up because, well, the pandemic was certainly an influencing factor on that. But there's a lot of material there. Now, of course, you run into the danger with groups that people will ask the same question that's been asked over and over and over again. And then everybody answers it like a bunch of damn fools, like lemmings going over the wall. There's got to be a point where the administrator says, wait, this has been asked and answered conservatively 5 times, 7 times, whatever it is. And I appreciate you bringing it as it's new to you, but look back through the group and you'll find it's there. Now, I don't know how far back these groups go. Is it a year? Is it 2 years? I don't know. But the problem with the Facebook groups is it's the same stuff. I was going to say same shit, but the same stuff over and over again. Did you get that the thing I sent you on the weather from
Yes, and the flaming cat, which was familiar, which was awesome.
What helped me there was when I was in college, I took a couple of courses in cartography and physical geography, and there were weather ones too, and it really helps your perspective, because some of the early attempts at doing weather in Greyhawk said, well, what's your longitude, what's your latitude, here's your weather. And I said, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. That's not the way the weather works. So anyway, for what it's worth.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
From the audience. If
Oh.
you could meet or talk to any one person now in the Greyhawk community that's alive, okay, because I know you probably want to go back and talk to Gary again. We all would. Who would it be now to get a little perspective? Len, what do you think?
Probably Rob Kuntz, I suppose.
Okay, all right, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
We talked to him.
All right. Well, we got to put him on the list to get him on the show now, don't we?
Yeah, we have to. Yes.
All right, I got another round table question here. We're going to start it out with John. Tell me something you want to see from this community.
Ooh. So I think what I want to see from the community, I know this is like such a horrible answer, but it's what I'm already seeing. New content and support. As we're seeing new channels launched, we're seeing whether it's Anna's maps, Carlos modules, the blogging of David and Mike, new DMs coming on board, the wisdom of Leonard, and all these things that come from the community. I mean, ultimately, what I would love to see is, let me think about this. Obviously, new Wizards content for Greyhawk, which may be coming from 5e. That's cool, but that's a double-edged sword, because I want to make sure it doesn't get pulled in a direction that we don't all want. So I just think continuing to see more of what we're doing, more people supporting the old Greyhawk content, helping bring in, as I have seen happen already, these Gen Z and millennial players. They use 5e as the gateway drug. They get introduced to Eberron or whatever, and they get into that sort of understanding D&D, but then they get this whole universe opened up to them of Greyhawk. And I think as we continue to propagate that, that's sort of the main thing I want to see. More modules from Carlos, more maps from Anna, more support from Jay, more blogs from that's what we're doing, I think, is the right direction.
Awesome.
Going as fast as I can, bud.
Yeah.
No, it's like you're prolific. Like, I was impressed with it. I saw your fine feathered friends email on your Patreon last week, and like the stuff, like you're pumping out the content, my friend. Well done.
Thanks.
More gifted subs. Sorry, Josh. There's going to be loud noises for a bit. But that's okay. Great answer, John. Anna, what do you think about that question? What do you want to see?
That was a good answer. One of the things I want, and now I'm going to get a little bit detailed, because there's so many different cool specialities that partially overlap, and that makes the community so vibrant, I think. But one of the things is that we need more librarians in the community. That's one of the things.
Oh.
More people that can organize it and kind of list it. Jason did an awesome effort into putting in. Now we have Greyhawk Online and we have Cannon Fire. They're both doing it. But it needs a lot of this stuff, meaning there's so much content, and even I, who spend basically all day looking for stuff and keeping track of it, has a hard time sometimes to find things so organize. And that's also something we as content creators can start figuring out, how to package things, how to make it accessible and usable for others. That's one of my huge thing moving forward in mapping, is to it. But one of the things that is missing, that I think that I would love to see more, is character portraits and illustrations of people.
You're absolutely right.
And because we have some awesome artists in the community. The problem is that they are also awesome at doing other things, which means that their portrait capabilities is kind of not put to good use enough. And if we can get some artists that love, and the problem when you're working really hard inside a community that is this both wonderful and demanding, because we have to realize we are demanding. We are getting we want the best stuff, and that means that not only you have to be a great artist, you also have to know the setting, you have to read the stuff, you have to be aware of it, and that combination is rare. But I so hope that Christoph with Greyhawk Online, he can do some art and portraits and stuff. I wish he could do more of that, and that will be great. And there are some others too that we can. I know that Will has done some awesome arts and portraits and stuff, can do that. I know Mike can draw like crazy too. So meaning there are many of us. I would like to see more of that. I would like to see more portrait gallery of all the cool stuff, so to speak, places and people, and especially places is something I'm going to dig into more and more closer.
Nice.
So buildings and stuff. But yeah, that is
That's
awesome.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
Mike.
Burnout factor's high with this guy.
Okay, yeah. But that's
I
one
do
thing
too
that I
much
would
of
like
one
to.
thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, do you mind if I shout out Frederica? Or
No, go ahead, man.
Please.
Absolutely.
So Anna's so right, and I've seen some of the stuff. Like, actually, I had no
Link.
idea that Christoph could draw. Like, Christoph sent me something this week,
Oh,
and
he
I'm like,
can.
"Holy
Yeah.
crap, dude! I had no idea you could do this. It was really good."
Yeah.
But we have one of our sponsors on my channel, Frederica Draws. Frederika Draws, all one word, on Instagram. She is incredible. So when you look at our Greyhawk Awakening, all of our character art, all the pictures, she does all of that work, and she is getting more engaged in the Greyhawk community. If you want to reach out to her, she does stuff by commission. She does some stuff for me by sponsorship. She's super talented.
I think I'd also like to shout out somebody too. I want to shout out Lady Loth, Victoria in our community.
That's yeah.
She
That's-
does absolutely breathtaking work. Greek
Yeah.
artist, a good friend of mine, and
Yeah.
Is that
I would
Lady
like to see
Loth?
more stuff from her.
Like
yeah.
Loth,
Victoria.
Loth.
Oh, Loth. Okay, gotcha.
For me, I think I've been trying, and I don't want to. Here's the thing, art. You never want to undervalue an artist's work, right? It's tough, and it is very time consuming. But Jose Ortiz is fantastic too at drawing.
Oh yes, I'm
Fantastic.
sorry. I should have remembered.
Yeah, he is.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, Casey, you want to say something toward that in the Living Greyhawk?
Yeah,
With her-
absolutely. So
was it-
both myself and Susan actually have recently commissioned pieces from Jose. I think I'm safe. I can say I've commissioned this for my wife's birthday coming up. She's off doing a thing.
Oh, very nice.
And very happy, how much he was willing to work with me and just his natural talent. And Susan's piece is the reason why I'm doing this. Like, yeah, I want to support someone I know, but Susan's like, check this out, and it's just, really good artwork. So I think I've also seen the Lady Loth on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
I've been very impressed. And Christoph went to school for his artwork, right?
Yeah.
In recent years as well. So I agree with this idea. If we can get a more visual characters, like Jay, on your character sheets, I actually thought it was odd at first you had a space for the character portraits. It's just not something I've ever had built into a character.
loved it.
If
Yeah,
you're
that's-
scrolling Twitch stuff, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You can let people see the character.
Absolutely.
Funny story, Christoph, when he sent me that picture, I didn't know he had done it. And so it was really good, but I offered a couple critiques, and I said, tell the artist this. And he responded back to me, I'm the artist. I'm like, oh, okay. That's amazing. But it was really good.
Excellent answer, Anna. Mike, what do you think?
I was going to say, he said something about, the visual Greyhawk. That just totally reminded me that David has been putting out some great pictures on Facebook, found from wherever. I don't know where he gets them, but it gives you a visual representation of regions of Greyhawk.
Oh, David has. David's been putting out a ton of them. I mean, they're really cool. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. Oh yeah, like that Welsh one, or is it Welsh or Cornish one? It was built into the side of a hill. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks, yeah, it's been really cool.
Well, Facebook is there. It also and there's all these sites,
That's a great idea.
and honestly, it's like I also go searching on things like Instagram and so on, and just type stuff in. I look at Anna's map, and then I might look through some of them with the old modules and also get a description, and then see what's out there. Also, because there was even an English like an English village. It also it's like that. When I looked at it, I just thought, my God, that's Hamlet.
Very cool.
Yep, there's so many awesome ones. Yep.
There's
Mike.
a dude out there also that has a Patreon that has official character art on all the character sheets he does every month. I can't remember that guy's name though. Castle Entertainment, I think.
That's awesome. Mike,
Yeah,
anything
one
else?
thing I also try to do it also with my blog. Anybody who's ever looked at it knows it also that I slap in a fair bit of artwork in from it's mainly from DeviantArt because unless someone says don't share without without permission of the artist. But also I do reach out to those for them and also to get permission whenever I can. And if I can't, if they don't respond to us, then I send in a comment saying that I shared it exactly where they can find the link and under each picture. It also if I source the page where it was taken from and when the name of the artist and such. It also because what I've been trying to do, especially even with the with the bios, is because the way the setting has always been, it's always been just a homebrew setting, and you can do anything you want with it. And so a lot of times it also people just kind of like, I don't know what they think of it also when they when they picture the character also, but usually it's the the usual fantasy tropes and so on. So I've been trying to find pictures for bios that look like people and such. Like the ones I spent the most time on, and then I don't know if Len read my little thing at all where I did on Liam and also, but I spent more time looking for pictures that were evocative to me of his character than anywhere else, because he had that piece in, which one was it? Was it number 10? Yes, number 10. And there's so much information on the character there. And honestly, I fell in love with Liam. I thought that Liam is probably the single greatest character, from all canon in Greyhawk, because he's not this supernatural hero. It's like he was an adventurer like every other character that's involved in Greyhawk.
And Len really thought out his whole career, and in that article, you really get a feeling for where he was and what he was doing, and it's he was to his own drummer, right? He wasn't he wasn't circle. I'm gonna do this instead, right, Len?
Yep. I just sent you and Anna an email of it's not a contest. It's people voting on what artist is compared to another artist, and then they're eventually going to take 16 people and drop it down to who's the winner.
Oh wow! I never even saw Chris Lars doing this. It's all right.
It's
wow.
Darlene versus Tom Wham is the first one that they're doing.
Wow, isn't that? I don't know. That's a little.
Well, yeah, that's a little funky.
Yeah, that's a little. I don't want. It's a little competitive too.
Well, some of Darlene's drawings are, I don't know what word do I want?
Eclectic.
Contrived. She did a stuff in Dungeons and Dragons, or in the
Did she do Jasmine
Dragon
too?
For a while, but she did these strange off the wall things that was more like art than it was reality. And one of her famous ones was she had an archer standing there looking straight at you, but aiming the arrow over to the side. And you say, well, what the hell's that? She can't hit that by not even looking at it. But to her, that was good art. So I'll take Tom Wham over Darlene any day of the week.
Len, haven't you ever seen Legolas going down a slope on a shield, shooting and killing 6 people? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
It's the no-look pass, Len. It's the
no-look pass.
Yeah.
What about the original movie Robin Hood with Errol Flynn?
Oh my gosh.
That sequence that's about 3.5 minutes long, right at the beginning, where he's firing arrows at a bunch of people and swinging through the air and everything else. And you suddenly start realizing how many things you could do in a minute. And Dungeons and Dragons goes, you get 1 blow per minute. You know.
Yeah.
Trivia
And, they
question.
fixed that in like
Trivia question for everyone. Where does Len mention that in writing? Just what he just said. And then you don't answer this. He mentions it somewhere. What he just said about Errol Flynn in writing in
I
publication.
got that. That's
I
easy.
got it.
Okay.
I got it. That's easy.
Casey and Carlos, same time. Go.
Dragon Magazine, the Archer article.
Yes.
Uh,
The beginning of the Dragon Magazine Archer article, Len says those exact words. Look it up. Very, very cool. Excellent.
Which was the basis on which specialization was.
Yeah. Yeah, especially missile specialization. Yeah. So, Mike, what do you think? What else would you like to see come out?
oh yeah, that
We got
question.
Len for 10 more minutes.
I almost forgot what that question was about. I would like to see some recognition from Wizards of the Coast
Wow.
for the community that's out there.
Look at that look on Eric Moner's face when you just said that. That's from the game from Saturday night, everyone. Tim snipped that for me because
Relish as.
yes, that's when Tim recast Flesh Shiver and broke Mike's Priest of St. Benedett's neck. So yes, well, almost it was undone by hero points, but yes. So that is an unbelievable one. Can you imagine having that happen? Jeez, crazy. That would be fantastic.
I just don't think it's never going to happen.
Yeah, and Orion R puts it. Are you sure you want WotC's attention? So everyone knows to cover my butt. I sent a letter detailed to WotC about calling it Virtual Greyhawk Con, and that I'm doing this. What do you what else are you planning? They go, we're escalating this to our proper people in the company. Never heard another word. So that's fine enough with me. We have so let's
the whole 5th edition craze and the height of popularity of D&D that we're at right now was all built on nostalgia. So
well, that's true. You're absolutely right, Mike. I
they-
didn't even think of it
they-
that way.
they want all the benefits, but they don't want to tie in the communities.
Is it though? Is it really nostalgia?
No,
You
he's
have a
right. He's
huge
correct.
Group of 5e players watching
Saltmarsh is nostalgia.
Matt Mercer's group and never having played in Greyhawk or even Forgotten Realms or Kryn or Dark Sun.
Yeah, it is a lot Mercer, right?
Yeah.
But I think the books that we've seen outside of Critical Role have all been built on our
Ghost
era.
of Saltmarsh, I think they looked at what do we already own the rights to that we can hobble together as some sort of nautical adventure. Oh, well, look, here's the
Anthology.
1 through 3 adventures, and then Dungeon and Dragon magazines for standalone adventures that were written by Mike Merles and other people who are associated with 5e, and they slapped that thing together. And quite frankly, I'm running it, but I'm doing a ton of work as a DM to make it a campaign.
Good.
It's not Greyhawk. They removed as much Greyhawk from it as they could.
Yeah.
They didn't put Greyhawk on the cover of Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's a great point, though, Mike. Carlos, what do you think?
Well, boy, I have nothing good to say at all about that last topic, so I think I'll leave that one alone.
What would you like to see positively for us?
No. I meant about Wizards of the Coast and their support of the setting.
Understood.
Because to me, not only do they need to get on board with that, they need to get on board with the old creators. I think they need to pay homage to their roots.
Like Glenn.
And I don't mean in just stuff like the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, reprints of the Gygax stuff. I mean, giving nods to people like Len, giving nods to people like Rob Kuntz, Jim Ward, people that were there that helped develop the setting, that are living legends. That
I agree.
Some of these people. When I got in touch with Darlene to help with my stuff back in the day, it was shocking to me how alone she felt in the community and that everybody had forgotten about it.
Yep.
And I don't want any of the people that helped shape my life like these people that I just mentioned to feel like that. That was horrible to me. So, but anyway, going back to the community. I like hearing other people's voices a lot. I like, we all exist in our own heads, and we all have this idea of what, the settings should be like, or what we think the best thing is, the best way that everything works. But I really like reading, when you read stuff like Mike's blog, and you see the way that a battle played out, or you read, I don't know, you read something that Will's done, or Anna's done, or Tommy's done. I had a great, one of my good friends, JC Luxton, who's in our community, just sent me, all of us, this wonderful document about Celine. And oh,
it's beautiful.
I just love hearing other people's voices and the way they think that the campaign should have been shaped or adapted, because I think, well, not only does it inspire me, and not only does it inform my own knowledge about places in the Flint that maybe I don't specialize in, but more importantly than that, just their passion is infectious. It drives you. It makes you realize somebody else cares about this as much as I do. How can, I got to give this everything I've got. Every time I have to admit, I really don't know all that much about the Bandit Kingdoms, but when I listen to Casey talk about it, I hear that passion, I hear the enthusiasm in his voice. I'm like, you know what? I'm going all in on this. This is something I want to, when I write my next module, that's the fuel I have. That's the thing that drives me. So for me, I like just hearing other people. Make your blog, post on Facebook, post on Dragon's Foot or wherever have you. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your passion for it, and just so I know that, because that helps drive me.
Fantastic point. Tommy, what do you think?
I mean, and Mike,
go ahead.
Does Uhl and your Fireland project, it's, as we flesh out what we do, we can all share that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What would you like to see, Tommy? You're muted.
It's not going to happen, but I would like to see the Living Greyhawk material released, of course. That's been something that we've discussed into the ground, and Casey has set the record straight on that many, many times.
And
so
Holy Ray reached out to me on the Discord, the gentleman in Greece, and he's reaching out to Wizards of the Coast in Europe about licensing.
Oh.
So maybe
there's a chance.
Maybe that's a backdoor way to approach the subject, but yeah,
maybe.
I just don't think Living Greyhawk is ever going to see the
Greyhawk leaks.
Yeah, yeah, Greyhawk leaks. That's fantastic. Well, that already exists. I can give you some links if you want.
Don't say that while I'm on the program.
That would be.
I mean, here's the deal. What Casey did with that, with what he did with the Bandit Kingdoms, was to at least say, well, look, here's what happened. Here's what you can actually use this as a source book to say, here's how the timeline advanced, here's how the story advanced, here's how the narrative advanced. And if we could get that, and Jay has done a great job getting these other voices from the Living Greyhawk community in to say, to tell us some of their stories, and we get to hear a little bit of it. That's been a lot of fun. But if other people would publish the way that Casey did, that, I guess, you want to know what I would like to see? I'd like to see more of what Casey did with Living Greyhawk. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yep.
Thank you very much. And I have begged the others, but I was in a unique position where I lived in a cheap town, and I had a 9-to-5 job at a university, very cushy job that had a lot of free time. I was working at a literary journal. And so I was able to type up my thoughts in 2008, 9, and 10, I guess it was, about the campaign. And then I went to grad school in 2010. And for those who've gone to grad school for, literary arts, you'll know you either have a ton of free time or you have no time. And, I had quite a bit of free time and finished my.
Oops.
12. Now all the former triads married, kids, divorced kids, some probably have grandkids. They just, having that kind of time was a luxury that I, as an idiot, had.
Right.
I should have been doing something more productive. The book is approaching 1,000 copies sold.
That's awesome.
Which blows my mind.
So don't want to interrupt you both, but we'll get back. David, we'll get to you on this question, but Len's got a couple minutes and then he's got to depart. So,
Oh no, absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. So, Leonard, what would you like to say in a tie-up closing on this celebration of the community we have around Greyhawk? Something inspirational or something like
Well, I don't know if it's inspirational or not. You know where I'm designing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm continuing to do is 576 and 577. So I'm not gone past the wars, but I've said that more times than I'd like to say it.
Right.
But I just discovered my calendar for a year in World of Greyhawk showing all the full moons and everything. I have to
Awesome.
run it through a scanner and I'll send it off.
Oh, awesome. The more stuff, Len, that you share with Anna, myself, and the rest of the group on that email, the better, because we're just going to keep on getting it out. And like I said, we freely give it out to anyone else. The contests are fantastic. You know, were you thinking of making a familiar contest next with that flame cat you made? I mean, that's where I thought.
I was thinking that the contest I'm thinking of doing starting next Wednesday is the fact that there is a blue moon this month.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
And what will happen on that second full moon in the same month and on Halloween night? There's all kinds of things that you can dredge up, and you can do it on Earth, or you could do it on Oith as well by using where those full moons come out.
Okay.
They don't have the equivalent of a Halloween, but Earth does. And there's certainly a contest involved in that.
Awesome. So Len will have that fleshed out by Wednesday, and we'll get that going, and you know, give him the event that will occur during the conjoined moons of full moons at you know, during that time frame, and that'll be cool. Awesome.
Arrivederci.
Len, thank you for coming
Thank you,
on
Len.
once again. Really
Thank you,
appreciate
Len.
it.
Yep.
We'll see you Wednesday. All right. So
Bye, Len.
sorry to interrupt Tommy and Casey. I knew he was going to be hopping off. So
No,
yeah. So
I mean, come on, you're gonna have Lynn interrupt me? Jesus Christ! Next, you're gonna tell me you don't have water for your friggin' sewer dungeons.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, man! So I don't know who it was. We get back to this. It was either Extort or it was one who watches Mike Disney. Just Thursday night we're playing, and one of my guys is bitching about, and it wasn't Tim. Where's the second cart? And one of our viewers goes, "There's there's thousands of dollars in terrain and 3D prints out there, and they're bitching that they don't have a second card out." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, viewers. I really appreciated you guys pointing out that my guys really ride me on that kind of stuff." So that was a real fun one, and that happened during the stream there. So Tommy and Casey, you want to finish that up, and then we'll go to David on that question. I've been trying to get Gary on this whole time too, everyone. I've been trying. So as we're talking, so go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't have anything else to say. You know what? There's so much material. Actually, there's so much being produced right now. I can't keep up with it. So I'm not going to like encourage you guys to produce more for me to like not read. I'm having a hard time keeping up with everything as it is and watching these shows and such. So I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with how the community is functioning together and the synergy that's already existing around it. So I think it bodes well for the future.
David, what would you like to say?
All right. So, well, you know, what would I like to see? Okay, I'd like to see, you know, maybe, you know, I remember hearing Casey talk about how he reached out to WotC and also about, you know, doing a best of IU sort of thing. Well, you know, what I'd like to see him do is exactly that, but, you know, do what maybe, you know, Carlos does. It also, it's like, and just kind of like shave down the serial numbers a tiny bit. It also, it's like, and that way we can see this epic, you know, 10, 12 module, you know, release. There's that, you know, the same thing true. It also like with Mike and
converting Living Greyhawk modules to Pathfinder, but I've been doing it way slower than Carlos. Been doing like one a year
Yeah,
or whatever.
I
my
do
output
have the
is.
ones you have so far.
Oh, well, cool. Thank you.
Casey,
And
I gotta tell you, the
Oh, that'd be
loneliest 100 buttons you're ever gonna press on a keyboard are the find and replace buttons for when you write everything in Greyhawk, and then you have to slowly take it out of there.
Right.
Oh, it's gonna break your heart when you do that.
Right. Agreed. Like Rookroost becomes Riverton.
Oh
in
my
stuff,
god,
you
yeah, I know.
I use just becomes the Cambion demon god.
It just kills me.
I have an idea.
Oh, there's no way they could copyright the old one. Can they?
That's what I call it. That's what I
impossible.
call them in mine.
Or the Free City, right? Yeah.
I have an idea, and that is someone should make up a master list so that everyone can use it, and then we get
Yeah.
more publishing quickly.
It's funny you should say that. Joe Block and I were working on a project like that.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Fantastic.
for his. He did a bunch of the gods, and I'm using them in my newest thing. And obviously I'm crediting him in that. But we talked about doing a master list, like a conversion list, and it will be published under. I have no idea who wrote this, because obviously my modules are not rooted in Greyhawk at all. That's crazy talk. Whoever wrote this, I have no idea. But
Understood.
All right. So
That's
other
interesting,
things
'cause
that
when
also
I
I
do
would
mine,
really like. So other things I would really like, I'd like, WotC to release the remaining, AD&D and, then second edition modules on DM's Guild, and also because, they're not all out there, and, well, from Tommy, I want more 1001 Night stories, set in the Backlunish lands, and also because they just don't seem to come out fast enough. I know you were really busy putting out your 1,000-page novel. And of course, I want to see, those, the more regions, and also then, just like Tommy said, it also what Casey did about the BK. It's like, it doesn't have to be, as, I'm just stumbling over my words.
That's
Also,
okay.
it's like, fact is, it also, it's like his book, the summary is a timestamp. But also, it's like, you can take all those blurbs, even if you don't have the have the modules, and you can create your own, which is essentially what Greyhawk always was in the first place. As long as you can do it, that's the best way. Other things, well, one of the things I'm doing, and also it's like for my own pleasure, it also is for when I'm up on holidays, is I'm trying to translate some of the things that also from Ekbeer, which are all in French. It also, it's like on a place that was my name. And it's time consuming too. But that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Casey, did we get you on this one yet? On what do you expect? Yeah. Okay. So that
I think so. Greyhawk.
So the ever mysterious Tim has joined us in Len's place, and let's just say this: Tim is nowhere near an aficionado on Greyhawk. But I would like to believe, yes, the crit tables law. I like to believe he knows a lot about the barbarian lands now after running that campaign. So Tim, why don't you talk about that real quick? How you became so quickly up on what was going on in the Rovers?
I actually, aside from the initial canon, I didn't read any of the novels or anything, but I did look at I Use the Evil, and and in dismay read it. And decided to build I didn't like the Central Asian steppe, so I kind of made him a little bit more like North American style culture-wise. But they were like, hit really hard. And I Use the Evil, they were like cut down in half or more and scattered everywhere, losing their faith and beliefs. And, it's
good copy.
I was kind of horrified at all that, and so I kind of tried to write my adventure in such a way that was kind of like, there's some of them that are fighting back and having some success, because if you're chaotic evil, you can conquer a lot, you can't hold on to it well. And so the tsunami has arrived, and now it's all the water's ebbing back, and that's the way I see the Barrens anyway.
Excellent. And you all had fun. I'm assuming in Tim's game, it was a blast. For
Oh
all of
yeah,
you
it was
who played.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Before the next question, I want to show how great this community is. So remember a couple weeks ago, I got Best of the Dragon Volume 4, and the cover's gone right on it. So this is from Bishop ADD1E, Kevin Krause, and he sends me, he says, I have something for you. And he sends me, just for the heck of it, a really pristine Best of the Dragon Volume 4. I just want to say that's so unbelievably wonderful. Thank you. Really, really cool that someone did that. So that's how great this community is. So thank you, Bishop. I'm not sure if you're on tonight, but I just wanted to thank you personally. And someone up here's got to have a question for everyone else. Carlos is always good for a question or two.
Oh, geez, here we go.
No, I don't have to put you on the spot, but I've asked all the questions.
No. I can answer. I can ask a question for everybody. Accepting modules. Okay, we'll pretend that that's out of the question. What particular resource in Greyhawk do you use the most? Tim just answered his, for example.
You mean
I use the evil.
You mean besides J. Scott?
Besides J. Scott. What reference do you guys use?
I'll start.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, good. Well,
Yes.
we can hear you. You can stay by sound if you wish.
I have no idea what's up with my camera, so I'm going to have to for now.
That's cool.
So.
Free City Greyhawk box set.
Okay.
That's it for me. And I know everyone's got a problem with it, but there's so much detail in there. Like we're doing the economies of Greyhawk on Wednesday. I'm going there for all the fines and all the fees that they have, and the discussion on. Yes, it's upside down, John. Yeah, that's mine. That's mine by far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's mine by
Did
far.
I agree to that topic?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Go for it. Who's got the answer? Next answer. Who else wants to answer that? What's your
For my blog, increasingly, I'm finding myself going to wikis more.
Yeah, that's true.
Because while I know which books to grab off my shelf, it's sometimes just quicker just to type in what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I do that all the time when I'm writing. All the time.
Agreed. Anna's Maps, wikis, Greyhawk Online, Cannon Fire. Like I go to those things all the time.
By the way, did you see Zavada's new index bot on Cannon Fire?
That's crazy.
So the Jason Zavada is now bombarded that on there. You just type an exclamation point topic and it comes up. Oh man, I'm sorry about that awful sound effect, but yeah, it comes up and it's really cool. So they're moving forward. Rich Longitalis is doing a lot of great work on the Cannon Fire site. With that roadmap, they're doing all sorts of connections to it, and the Zavada index. I just wanted to.
Oh, he's doing the Living Greyhawk Adventures spreadsheet where he did a ton of work plugging in blurbs, level ranges, authors when he has it. And I really want to help him and do more on the BK and I use stuff. I just haven't had any time this year, and I keep telling him after Virtual Greyhawk Con. Well, now I'm trying to sell a condo and buy a house, so now it's after that, and then it's gonna be Thanksgiving, and then it's gonna be Christmas. But I swear to God, Rich, one of these days I'm gonna try and help you with that.
Yeah. So Extort asked, Tim, I hope I got all those weapons by paying the iron price. So yeah, they're all real too. You don't want to get too close to them.
And I will say that when I look off to the right and left, there's 12 others that aren't on there.
No. What's better than any of that, Tim, are the horns you have carefully placed above your head.
Yeah.
We now know where the Horn Society is.
And
Tim's house.
my horn cup.
Yes.
Very nice.
So who else?
Tim's the mysterious, because he's part of the Horn Society, the leader.
He's part of something, let me tell you. And I honestly, I can say that I've known Tim longer than anyone else, so I claim him all mine. So you can't take him away, John. You can't move to Nashville either.
I'm after Bill. I'm not.
He's already got the crit table. He doesn't need anything else.
No, I still want the fumble tables though, Tim. So
Tim is the one that put that look on Eric Mona's face. Okay, so that's all you need to know is that this look, I gotta show this again, is from that man. And so, and by the way, if I win, I get partner. I'm turning that into an emote. Okay, we're gonna have an Eric Mona emote on our channel from now.
Yeah.
I already sent him a message saying your face with that look's gonna be an emote. So let's hope.
I sent it to Jay and I said, if you're in the act of DMing or playing the villain NPC and you get that expression, you have been successful.
All right, let's continue with Carlos's answer. Anyone else with another reference that you use? Anna, go ahead.
I must say David Leonard.
There you go.
For me, it's the compilation of history with the borders and places and all that stuff that comes out of that. It's awesome.
It's a one-stop shop. If you
I've been
find a topic,
lapping it up for the past year as they come out. So yep.
So very great answers to questions. I think I asked this one last week, but let's go for it.
I didn't answer that.
What's that? Okay.
Well, there's two things. There's the what was it called? It's like Steve Wilson's Gray Crondex. That was one of them, and definitely the Zavoda Index, which is now seemingly it's migrated, of course, onto the Greyhawk wiki. And I guess other people are adding to it now, and also it's like with the stuff that Jason didn't get to. So, but I spend so much time, when I'm because those are the two go-tos, and also it's like where is everything in because there's no way I could find all that stuff in all those books without having Steve's Great Crown Exodus, because that has books and the pages, and then you just have to just find and start writing. Without those two, it also it's like I would not be here.
Yeah, I've said it before. The Zavoda Index is the single greatest fan work for Greyhawk, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's all say the following: that we've reached out to Jason, and we're not sure how he's doing it. Let's just pray and hope that he's doing better. Right now, I think he's hasn't been around that much.
Today.
He posted in Facebook or on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he posted today on Facebook. He didn't mention anything about his condition or anything, but he did post today on Facebook.
Okay. At least I reached out to him via Discord a couple times, and maybe I'll reach to him through. I'm not sure if he uses Facebook Messenger or not. I'll try on Facebook Messenger to reach out to him there. So let's real quick talk about the next big. While we have a huge audience, the next big Greyhawk event, shall we? Okay.
Yes.
All right. We have two things. Carlos, could you, while I'm isolating this, talk about your fundraiser too, please, because it's very important. It's coming up in January.
All right. Well, yeah, I'd be happy to. It's my passion, really. In January, on January 7th, which is my birthday, I'm doing a week-long stream, and it will benefit the Cheetah Conservation Fund. I've always been a huge advocate for that animal. And I'm releasing a module in conjunction with it called Tears That Forever Stain. It's got interior artwork. It's got professional cartography. It's probably one of the better things I've ever written. All sales, all profits from it go to the Cheetah Conservation Fund, as well as all profits that are generated through the stream in terms of cheers and in terms of donations. I'm going to do a week-long Twitch stream with that, with VIP guests on it. People from our community that are going to be players, many of whom you're looking at them, some of them. They don't even know it yet, but some of them. But yeah, it's a worthy cause in my opinion. It's something I've always really, it's my passion. I'm gonna try and help save the world's fastest land animal with my other passion, Greyhawk. So
awesome.
Hopefully you guys get a chance to tune in, iCastle Entertainment, and buy a copy of the module. Not for me, but help save the world.
Carlos, I think we're all in here.
Love that, Carlos.
And if you're gonna DM 5 times, and what, 5 players per, 6 players per?
7 times. I'm doing 7 times, and I may actually be doing a total of 9 streams. I may be doing it a couple, like 2 a day, like one during the day and 1 at night.
5 players or 6 or?
Well, you guys got to remember, for me, like I said, this is probably one of the most important things in my life, as far as conservation for animals, and particularly the cheetah. So I'm willing to go to just about any length for that charity.
Fantastic. I think it'll be easy to get 50 players for you.
This
I
right
mean,
over here is going to be
heck
my
yeah.
good friend, these Ricola.
Reach
No,
out to
love
me,
that.
I'd
And by the
love to
way,
play.
I so enjoyed running your Lost Dog module, which all those proceeds go to Red Rover. And I know there have been some additional sales from that. And just all the effort you do with conservation, animal rights, it's fantastic,
Oh,
Carlos.
thank you so much. Yeah, last year or 2 years ago, my charity was Red Rover. We'd just had wildfires in California at that point in time. Some of you might remember. I know it's a recurring theme now, but in that particular case, there were a lot of animals that got separated from their owners, and Red Rover is an organization that helps reunite lost animals with their. So I created Lost Dog based on that, which is all about little girl who's lost her dog named Bucknard in the
Bucky!
Bucky in the Beggar's Quarter of the Free City of Greyhawk. So
And all your compassion is at such odds with all the blades behind Tim. It's such a juxtaposition.
Tim is a very compassionate person.
I kill them with kindness in one way. He does it in another.
Sensitive.
So that'll be first in 2021 as far as a great thing to get behind. And I would hope we'd all would get behind Carlos's, 9 times DMing is, whew, man, that's fantastic. And I'm looking forward to that. So 6-7 weeks after that, now this will be the third time. Year one, Will and I will not go back to the debacle that was, but Will was kind enough to join myself, Marco, as DMing. So I ran twice and Will went once, and we did the first Greyhawk Mega Stream event in 2019, and we raised $1,006, I think. Right, Will? That was a fun time, though.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, Will. They all played monsters in Will's game. It was awesome. It was so.
Doppelgangers, right? Was it Doppelgangers?
No, there was Doppelgangers was the second one.
Oh, that
This
was the second one. Okay.
That was the second one, yeah.
Yeah, they played also like the toady monster, subservient monsters. It was great, and that one was good.
It was a reverse dungeon, so everybody, there were goblins and a hobgoblin and things like that.
So we did
I want to play a goblin.
Orb of the Dragonkind. We did the 7th orb. It's kind of like a heavy metal theme, throughout. And we raised $1,006. Now last year, I think we went up a level, and so we had Carlos start at 4 a.m. Then we had Will. You were second or third? No, Praetor's Rejects was second.
Yeah, I think I was third.
Yeah, and then Will was third. Nightheart, there you are. Nightheart Gaming was fourth, and then I went last, and we did Return of the Falcon from the Falcon series. So this year I've kicked this around already, and everyone's giving me positive feedback. Now we can change this, but I want to do a general theme this year, and the theme I came up with is Underdark Uprising. Okay, so it could be Coatoans, it could be Dark Elves, it could be Mind Flayers, whatever you want, and we had 5 streams already. Trollor Games and of course John Bluebox, who wasn't around last year, have already committed. That's why I put 24-hour plus here. Now another stream has said he wants in when he starts live streaming, and that's Galger. Sorrow's Tale. Once he gets his live stream, he's going to get the worst time slot, everyone. But that's just the way it goes.
Worse than mine?
What's that?
Worse than mine?
Well, you like yours, don't you? So someone's got to do that. We still have to have someone do midnight to 4, and we still have to have someone do 4 to 8. But if we have 8 channels, we're going to start Friday night. Friday at 4, 4 to 8. Saturday, 8 to midnight. They're good slots. Then we go midnight to 4, 4 to 8, all the way back through. And so I'll finish it up that Saturday night, and we'll crank it through. We raised over $2,500 last year. I think we can do a lot more than that with 8 streams. I really do. So this is the next big Greyhawk thing that I know of that we're doing, and I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Underdark Uprising, get commitment from everyone. And I want to show this because I want to show how awesome it was. Real quick, it's 1:40. This is Nightheart Gaming's unbelievable ad they did for it last year.
Oh, I can already imagine.
I can show this. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is from last year.
Ad. Ancient Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
be the one who decides who lives and who dies.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Are we not hearing the audio
No, not
for the ad?
Oh, you guys can't, but they can. I
Oh,
guess
it's
because
on-
of
it's on Twitch. We won't
I'm
hear it.
sorry.
Yeah, it's working on Twitch though. I can hear it.
You can take it.
That map looks familiar.
I think you're
Shut the-
imagining that.
Shane, shut that door,
Yeah.
please.
I've seen it a couple of times.
It's Darlene's, right, Hannah?
Ah! Mike did the Falcon figure, if you all remember.
Speaking of Prince,
Yeah, he got mentioned. Yeah, we all know
Flash.
Bless you, sir.
David Jar right there.
You might want to pick up your spleen. I think
Bro,
it's on the floor.
this is every day, man. I take pills, and I did myself a big double shot of this. It also, it's like before, it also up the nasal, so.
Hey, no worries. I think you only lost a quarter of your lungs. You're probably fine.
So
Yeah,
I told Frank from Nightheart, I said, Frank, you got to one up yourself this year. I mean, that was so unbelievably fantastic. And so we're going to have a meeting in a couple weeks with all the streamers and try and get this thing up and going. Because let's just plan it ahead of time. It's a month before GaryCon. I think that's plenty of time. It's a month and a half after Carlos's. I think that's plenty of time in between. It's a week after Valentine's Day. We did it the 15th last year, which was a little too close. So we're going to push that to the 20th. And
Yeah.
you know,
I needed points.
everyone sound good. Sound good with everyone online too. I think it'll be a fantastic day and a half of us, the community coming together again, and that's why I wanted to share that with everyone tonight. And you know, we'll get some feedback from them. Anyone have any input or questions about that on here?
Jay,
Jay,
just
you-
I'm
You
excited.
can tell them whatever I told you about the books.
Oh yes. Yes, thank you. Excitement, yes, absolutely. So Casey will be giving away, and Casey will be driving down again and playing in person. We'll have 20 of these signed to give away too.
If I can, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If he can, he'll be here in
You
person.
can do it, Casey.
But
And
See, last year the mistake I made was waiting too long to order the hard copies, and then had them get to Jay's the day after.
yeah,
So I couldn't stream them I
couldn't
couldn't
sign
sign them because I had to
Hey,
go home.
Jay,
So
I'm sorry.
this year I've already ordered them. I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna sign them. I'm just gonna send them to Jay, so that whether or not I'm there, he'll have them on hand.
yeah, absolutely. And it was very fulfilling. We got out a ton of great gifts. I had Stratagem and Reaper sponsor it. You know, Troller Games is in this year that's sponsoring it, so we'll have a lot of great complimentary gifts and all. We had some unbelievable donations last year from the community, and I think we could just top that. And John proved it. And John, talk about what you just did on your fundraiser.
Oh, sure. No, thank you,
Please.
Jay. Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because so many of the people that supported that are on right now. A lot of the folks that are on our chat. So we did a first ever Blue Box fundraiser. I had very limited expectations. This was last month or about 6 weeks ago, and it was for Save the Children, which is an organization that not only supports things like orphanages, but to me, one of my central concerns is child trafficking. Child trafficking is a scourge on humanity that is propagating across the planet. And Save the Children really focuses on stopping child trafficking and child abuse all over the world. And I came in, all my friends, I think I told Jay, I was hoping we might raise $300-500 that night. We've never done a stream before like that. We're a young channel. We raised $4,000
Yep.
in a 3-hour stream. And it was a lot of the people on this chat. So I was blown away. I think I blubbered a little bit on the stream. I was so shocked by the contributions of the community. And it goes back to what was being talked about earlier. This community is very special. And I think we can do some amazing things together, not just propagating gaming, but showing what the gaming community can do for broader good.
And
we can be lawful good heroes across the real world, not just the fantasy world.
I think we got to figure out a way to tie in the bloggers too somehow. So I would love. Oh, look at that! Troller Games is oh, Mike, that was so kind of you as well.
Thank you,
so
Mike.
thank you, Chuck, for doing that, and thank you, Mike, for the gift subs. Thank you so very much. I mean, Mike was an integral part. I have a Mike Disney collection on my up on my walls of figures now. There's growing. I can't wait to get Holly that he painted during Greyhawk Con as well. But he was an integral part of that as well. We got to figure out a way to get the bloggers involved in the fundraiser somehow. Maybe some a joint story or something as a great giveaway item. You guys, why don't you guys get him? Talk about it. The four of you add in Alan and just come up with something. Maybe it's a publication, or maybe it's just something you want to do.
Look, you should let us know. At least let us know when you have an event you want to promote. We're always looking for content. So we're always willing to give somebody a shout out or whatever.
I'll be sure I do that.
Yeah, whatever it is, whatever you need. That's absolutely.
Since you're talking about Mike Disney, I should also mention that Mike was nice enough to. I'm doing some giveaways for my charity as well, and Mike has painted some cheetah figurines.
Awesome.
I commissioned a couple sets of dice, cheetah print dice, from a custom boutique dice maker. So.
Hey, on the Mike Disney Love Train, really quickly, I should mention I did a drawing competition with him, and he had a couple things he was giving away: the Overgord prints. He had Overgord pins, and then he went above and beyond. My daughter did something. She's 9. He sent her something special. He sent me an extra one. Mike is super generous to the community.
Absolutely, Mike is a wonderful human being too. He really is a great person, and the things that he has done for the tie-in.
One thing I really wanted to say, it also is if people want this Greyhawk community to continue to exist, also you've got to support your artists, because without it, you're working in a vacuum, or else you're not even producing. It also so honestly, if you're not coming to Mike's site, my site, Tommy's site, or whatever, if we're not seeing the numbers, it also then we're just kind of doodling away at home. And for anybody at also who's looking for content and so on, you know what? Hey, put your money where your mouth is. Buy the stuff that's out there. And it's I'm not going to let the other person. And also, this is.
Oh my gosh! There's Carlos.
Also, from Mr. Carlos there.
That's
so. If you're not producing if you're not buying from them, they're not producing, because they're just going to go under. And hey.
Not to interject, everybody. I'm glad I could come back in and show you my face before I left.
Have a great night, Will. Thank you.
You will.
Have a good night, everybody.
I gotta get it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So we'll have a meeting and we'll get this thing up and running and we'll get it all coordinated. And just note that so we should note that Jimmy Duffy, Prayers Rejects, has a regular Greyhawk stream every Saturday night now. So there's another one, right? And he's got a great one with the Slave Lords Uprising. I don't know if Jimmy's still on. He's really busy tonight with this whole weekend with Autumn Revel. Wiley Hobbit has a stream as well. I think it's usually Sunday afternoons, and I think there was a technical issue, but Wiley's got a Greyhawk stream now.
Wiley's great.
Yeah, Gallagher has one too, Sorrow's Tale, and it's going to go live on a Sunday night upcoming. So that's 3 more that we haven't even discussed. That's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
We also have, if you count Mike, you can count Mike Wilson, Celestian. He's still running his Temple of Mental Evil and Fantasy Crowns using VTT. He's still doing that, and he runs that on Saturday nights. You can add Mike to that mix as well. And there's probably RPG Sports, eSports RPG, I think it is. Oh my gosh, he does a Sunday night. And he does some Temple of Mental Evil, and they're in Nulb now. So there's another one that a lot of people don't know about. So that's 4 I just mentioned that are running Greyhawk content. So I don't know. Maybe this will expand beyond 30. If everyone does 4 hours, it's 32 hours now. So we'll see. But I'd like to get the whole community involved in it. And that means the community.
And at some point, I'm going to take over Joe's.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm going to take over Joe's.
Okay.
Maybe for 2022.
Or make your own. Okay, no comment. It's not that.
Well, it's easier for me to, get the wife points and say like, hey, I'm gonna do this
Okay.
very rarely versus
Hey, Mick.
trying to start from
Hey,
scratch.
Casey, contact me offline. I can help you with the wife stuff. So
All right.
She's
Let's.
very awesome to everyone out there.
Yeah, so lovely stuff going on. I just wanted to mention that while we had a huge amount of people on this fundraiser is the next big Greyhawk thing. Plus, look for GaryCon next year. It's going to be. I know, Carla. I'm probably not going to be there in person. I reached out to Luke today with an idea I have. And Casey Rift about how I want to. I did 5 streams for GrowlCon virtually. I think I could do that again this upcoming year. So I have Carlos. You're going in person, correct, Carlos?
I am going in person.
Yeah. My wife is
well, assuming it takes place.
Right. So, hey, Skyga, thanks for coming on too, and thank you for participating in GrowlCon. All right. So, a couple other questions from the group here. Anyone else want to ask the rest of the group something? We've got to have some questions. Oh, I got one.
While you're prepping that, hey Carlos.
Yes, sir.
Have you had any thoughts or willingness to collaborate with streamers like Will or Jay or I on custom module content that we would use in game and then you could repurpose for sale?
Some of my first stuff that I ever did actually was gifted to Jay as far as as stuff to just free content for him to use on his stream. So yeah, I'm absolutely open to doing stuff like that. Yeah, I've done that in the past before.
Okay.
Carlos did 3 adventures set in my order reveal campaign. I ran all 3 of them, and you know what was so great about them? They drove Alan crazy, which made it even better. My one player was off camera, Al. Yeah, and anything I can do to drive him crazy is good for me. So.
And they all killed me every time.
Yeah, that's right.
You killed Tim?
And now I know where the animosity comes from.
It was
in full discourse. I mean, I'm a disciple of Gygax, so some of my stuff is a little bit deadly. I don't deny that.
Yeah. It's really fantastic though.
But yeah, absolutely. Anytime you guys would want to do something like that, all you got to do is let me know the kind of thing you're looking for, and be more than happy to.
No cold. Rumple Foreskin is Tom. Sorry for that name of that gnome, but yes, that's Tom's gnome thief. There you go. Alan's the one who's always off in the corner. So here's my question, and it comes off on this. Who would you like to collaborate with in the community? So we'll start. I'm going to start with Mike. I know you did something with Scott Casper on that, right? So
True.
Who would you like to collaborate with next?
Does Orth Journal count?
Sure.
Because we're already collaborating with most of the people on this panel through that.
Yeah.
But you mean more closely, like I think Scott. Carlos. I've known Carlos a long time, and I don't think we've brainstormed together in awful long time.
I would absolutely love to, because I was waiting for this question. The question I was waiting to be asked on this is who on the panel is one of your biggest inspirations. I was going to say you. So to be honest with you, I would be totally down with that.
Fantastic. Love to see.
In fact, you're the one who inspired this bad boy right here. To the City of Elder Gods. I mean, look who it is on that cover. You know who that is.
I've got to get hard copies.
Hey, Carlos, could you hold that still so I can get a screenshot?
Yeah. It'll be up on the board here soon. That's our boy Eli Tomaras right there.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
Kurzit. So yeah, that's I know that Mike loved that, and I was planning to release this for GaryCon. I was like, oh, I'm gonna knock Mike's socks off when he plays this, and of course, GaryCon didn't. Yeah.
So Carlos, have you ever written an adventure in all?
I have not written an adventure for all. However, back in the day, Mike asked me when we were doing stuff on Cannon Fire, and we were saying I asked him where would he like to see developed in the Flyness, and he said I'd like to see something done with Ekbeer. So I wrote 2 articles in which I anagrammed his name and made him the main character of the 2 articles that I wrote for Cannon Fire. One of them was about something that I've called the Pontificum, the Magnum Pontificum, which is like the 7 wonders of the world in Oerth, what scholars and sages consider to be the great works of architecture and art. Because I didn't think we'd ever had something quite like that done before. So I've got those. One of the 2 articles. One of them was about the 2 that Sekram Beatty did. The artist from All, who is of course Mike Bridges.
Very, very
Al
cool.
Timorn, Mortellon.
Yep, and El Timorn too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thank you to Mike for hopping in and taking Gary's place last week too. I'm glad you had fun. And it was Mike's idea. Full disclosure, Mike's idea to name his squire after a hockey goon from the '90s in my own honor, Squire Joseph Koser.
Oh, jeez.
I used to do that a lot. We had Radic Bonk
Full
and
cement
stuff like
hands
that.
Koser.
That's ambiguous enough to work. That's not truly an anachronism. That works. I like that.
Yeah.
Great quote about Joey Koser from your boy Tony Twist, Mike Bridges. One
Yeah.
punch and it's surgery.
DM, I almost
Good
did
times.
Tiger Williams, but he went with Joseph Koser. Sounded much more Greyhawkian, so we went with that.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so John, I'm going to ask you this, but everyone note this: John and I share a common area, a common Greyhawk. We share NPCs. We share ideas, artwork, and I actually one of his players is now an evil, kind of evil ex headhunter, Evie, the Dark Cloaked. It's actually in my game as of Thursday night in the Narwhal area, so we kind of give shout outs, and he has Yaj talks. So, who else would you like to collaborate with, John?
Yeah, so you got Yaj, but I want to say, yeah, so just to explain that, you got Yaj Talks, which of course is the anagram for Jay Scott. You also have Rayam, who is this expert ranger that knows the lands of the Cron Hills and Greyhawk like the back of her hands. I wonder who that could be. And another anagram. And I've loved the collaboration. I'd like to see, as I said before, I'm going to kind of echo Mike. I'd like to do some more direct collaboration with Carlos. I'd like to see us create some modules and some content that are born of maybe some inspiration that I have and the perspiration of his incredible writing. Like, he's so detailed and he puts all the work into it. And then, of course, you know, at some level, I'd love to collaborate with some of the luminaries of the space, and Eric Mona, Luke Gygax, the people that we've had on these shows. But that's just, I think, really more because of their spot in the world and what they've done for the game. But when I'm looking at the people that I want to collaborate with actively, I'm looking at them right now, and I'm not blowing smoke. That's legit.
Cool. Anna, how about that question?
I have to hop on the Carlos train, like so many, and because Jay and John, it's already started. The mini, they have now customized versions of my map that will be regularly updated as they need for their streams and their games. And I've already done work with Casey for some of his modules. I hope that could be more of that in the future, but I haven't done that much with Carlos. But I think that's going to change, because the new generation of area maps that are 5 feet per pixel, I think that could be an awesome map backdrop for a module area. You can have like a forest, a detailed forest with all the trails, and you can have adventure locations, meaning you can have an area that is like 10 by 10 or 15, 20 by 20 miles, something like that, with all the details in the world. So instead of a dungeon, you can do a kind of an overland crawl that could be almost as detailed as a dungeon. I think that could be something for a module that could tie into Greyhawk. So that is something that I would love to take one of these areas of Greyhawk and tie it in with a lot of locations and stuff with Carlos. That's one of the pet projects, and the same thing with Casey to start doing Bandit Kingdoms stuff that too. So and something else. So that's some. Of course, I would love to collaborate with all of you guys. But the Carlos is really high on doing something in depth together. Yep.
Love that.
I don't know if you guys remember me saying something about blushing earlier. Oh my God.
I know. Will made me cry, so they should...
Yeah, I'm about ready to.
Let me diffuse the glory here and say I also look forward to collaborating with Tim on more creative ways to kill players. So.
Oh. Well, he's your man for that, for sure. He's your man for that.
I did want to say I did catch a little bit of comments, because I went back and checked the chat. some people thought I was taking it too easy on you guys.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe I am. But then I would have had a 33% casualty rate if it hadn't been for extra points.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
gave.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So,
Just imagine what would have happened Saturday night too, without. I mean, Mike's
been fine
character
with
neck
Gary's-
got. Yeah, I
I
mean,
would have been fine with that.
yeah.
The points were out there, and I felt bad not using them because people were
Yeah.
being generous. But
No, it
I would
makes a
love to kill Gary's character.
I just
No, but I think that's part of the fun of the Twitch stuff because
Yeah.
we can have these
Oh
really
my
villainous things that we've got ready as DMs, but then when the viewers jump in and they really want to help the players, it just makes for a fun. It changes the ecosystem a bit. That's why I don't mind having such devastatingly dangerous crit tables from Tim because I've got counterbalances like the viewers who kind of help the players out from time to time.
Absolutely.
Stuart just said I'm more bark than bite.
Oh,
No, Tim was on my page the other day on my stream, and he was putting it to my players with his points.
Gave him points and said, "Here's some points to maim a PC."
Yeah.
Well, Tim's tables have already killed one and maimed another PC in my campaign. So
And Tim, that resulted in that 7 dice fireball that just dropped.
I had to step back because I didn't want to have that survivor's guilt that I had with John.
So, and a lot of people don't know, but Tim and Casey had a little rivalry going the last couple of months, and they've kind of have a détente now. I don't know who started it. I think Tim started it.
I said this in chat. Roxafaria started with the very first charity stream. He started buffing all the monsters.
Yeah.
And that really annoyed me so much. I thought, why should I be the only one annoyed? And so I took his cue. He started it, and so
Very cool.
Yeah, my players were like, "Who is this guy?" Because they don't know you at all.
He's the ever mysterious Tim. That's why he has
I
that
just
title.
couldn't stop laughing. I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
love
So,
it.
yeah, Carlos is very serious. He's talking. He reads something. Belly laugh, you know. Yeah, good.
And that's
You're
the
welcome.
great thing is that Twitch allows all of us streamers to interact, and we figured out how to do it with the community and let them be part of the game.
Right.
And that is so wonderful. And I think that is the success, why we're all having success. Hey, there's Chuck. If things go the way I want, I will need some maps from Madden in 2021. Well, I understand that, Chuck. Troller Games, Baboonsky. Yes, that is a fantastic thing to hear as well. And thank you. And by the way, so Chuck is Troller Games is so great. I know I'm bouncing all around here. I said to Chuck, I said, hey, I want to do another giveaway tonight. Is it okay if I do another Gaxmore giveaway we did, for tonight? These two and the map set all digital. He goes, absolutely, Jay, no problem. Just like that. And that's how great they are. So just wanted to give them a huge shout out to say thanks on that. So David, who would you like to collaborate with?
Okay, I'd like to hammer out a story with Tommy, and then have it produced as a module with Carlos, and then have Mike do all the inner artwork with it, and then have both you and John stream it.
That would be fantastic, man. I'd love to
That
do
is an
something.
awesome
So when are you running for office?
Yeah.
Which ticker do you want, man? Well said.
Yep.
And why choose the lesser evil?
That's a fantastic idea. Absolutely. And it could be reality. So Carlos, Amanda did say something in chat. You are all going to see sometime early next year Horror in the Hools.
Yep.
What
It
can be
is
that?
actually Horror in the Hools is scheduled for my second module of the year next year.
Oh my gosh.
It has to be or in the marshes or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is why you and me,
Yes, you
Jay,
can't
you and I
say
did
Hools.
getting in
The
touch about
title.
how we're gonna do this.
Yeah. So,
We have a couple things decisions we have to make.
yeah,
About
and
filing numbers off.
so exciting. Yeah, we got to change Priest of Washry to something. and
Yeah,
all
I
that
mean,
stuff.
I have some ideas that I'll run by you myself, but I do definitely that is on the list. It's
Awesome.
finally going to be in production next year.
I can't wait. And let
I
me tell you,
can't wait either. I'm more than that. I mean, I feel guilty that I've wanted to do it for so long and I haven't been able to get my schedule clear enough to do it. But finally we're there.
Awesome.
So-
The great thing is, Carlos, it would probably be the perfect timing as things are peaking even more. I think that the community will be just see something from you and me jointly. I think it'll be wonderful. The community will really be excited about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Tommy, what would you like to see? Who would you like to collaborate with?
Yeah, so I have these ideas all the time. I mean, I think about this stuff all the time. Like, and I often write these emails to you guys, and then I never send them. Because I have these ideas, and I'm like, wow, what if we did this? What if we did that? But like, I want to do. I brought this up before. I've mentioned this before, but I want to do the quest for the Crook of Rao. I think that's that could be an epic campaign, just an absolutely epic campaign that would be like take you from first level to I don't know where, and then that would be followed up by the series that's the Great Northern Crusade, where we actually roll in and kick Yu's butt, and maybe and everybody could be involved in something like that. If something that massive could be really a lot of fun with a lot of everybody could contribute to a major effort like that.
Yeah, Tommy, what I think of when I think of that is, remember how the adventure paths were in Dungeon?
Yeah.
Those weren't necessarily written by one person.
Right.
Every episode. So
right, but there's an overarching theme and narrative. Yep.
I like that, Tom, because I'm also prone to these, because there was some chat on this last week. Some are, say, to more sort of parochial, local, geographic, geopolitical, but I love that. But I'm prone to these overarching giant themes and these things which are world changing. And if we're going to do something like that in this community, collaborate on something that we all agree to and changes the storyline together, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, it could follow the storyline.
Did you see how concerned Casey Space got when we said we're going to kick Cayuse's butt? I don't think Casey likes that.
I saw a tear fall down his
It
cheek.
made my internet freeze up. Old one is mad.
The old one,
yeah.
You were probably on a PM with the old one himself, just there saying, "We're going to sabotage this, aren't we, Casey?"
ALIUs.
Yeah, Blue Rugby says I endorse Cook of Rao project, so that's fantastic.
There you go.
So Gary Holy,
wait, you guys are all. Let me just say real quick, you guys are all suckers
Oops.
because I let the Crook of Rao banish all the demons and devils from Earth because he needed to get rid of all the ones that were eating up food stores that his orcs needed to be eating, his hobgoblin needed to be doing. So he totally allowed that, and it left behind all of the more powerful demons and devils. They made their saving throws. So yeah.
Being on another plane just makes them unstable. They just had to go back.
I agree.
That's my take on that.
I like the idea of the rise of the Earthland in Topeka. I like the epic idea. It also like that the Earthland have come back. It also like in Skrellingshald. It also like and that's the epic the epic arch. It also like up in Northern Raddick, where all great adventure paths should be. Of course, we're gonna need help, but also
Didn't you mean Southern Raddick?
The mountains in the BK.
Didn't you mean Southern Raddick, David?
No, Northern.
Hey, you got the north part. I've got the south part.
Yeah,
we should collaborate and put.
We should collaborate.
Anyway, that's our story.
Someone just in chat said Thrommel, and I just put up 3 no heads. I just had to
I think Thrommel's been up 3 times in chat tonight, Jay.
Yeah, Thrommel.
I took care of one. I took care of one of them.
He likes putting him up to you, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to need a Thrommel picture with fake news underneath it.
That's a good idea, David.
Yeah, that's why Jay
Oh my
has
gosh.
moderators to keep Thrommel out of there.
First one I just said, "How dare you?"
So Casey, if you're still there, what would you like to do, collaboration-wise? Casey zonked.
Oh, he's coming back again.
Yeah, Casey zonked on us.
He was talking crazy, and that's what happened.
The old one will not abide this kind of language.
Apparently not.
Exactly,
Chaotic,
yeah.
evil, chaotic.
What's up, Sorrowsdale? Hey, good to see you on, man. So, what would you all? Someone give me another question. Because Carlos has asked one, I've asked all the rest of them. Someone, come on, that was a good one, a collaboration one, don't you think?
It was a really good one.
Yeah. All right.
Although you didn't let me answer.
Okay.
All
I
right,
have one.
Carlos, please.
Because Jay, you asked a question before. And also, where was everyone's favorite spot? And also to adventure in. And also, like, and my thought would be, and also, if you were banished from there, where would be your favorite spot to adventure in? Like right in a module or something.
We'll do that. Absolutely. We'll ask that one. Go ahead, Carlos, on collaboration, and you.
Oh no! I was just kind of
because I mean, you got the love on that.
You were the
question.
focal point.
I did get the love.
You were the love on that one.
Honestly, to be 100% honest, the person that I'm most likely to collaborate with next would be Anna because of my Fireland project.
Awesome.
But everybody else over here, I have made soft commits to a lot of people about doing collaboration stuff, like with John. And I'd really love to collaborate with Mike. I just finished collaborating with Tommy, although kind of in a just kind of a reference point of view.
Consultant, yeah.
Yeah, consultant. I guess that's the best way to put it. So, yeah, that kind of thing. I would love to do that with everybody here on the board. But Anna's probably, I'm going to make your wish come true there. I think sooner rather than later.
That's awesome. Yep. That is awesome. All right, so David asked the question. Your second.
Oh, you skipped me.
Oh, you zonked. I'm sorry, you zonked on us. So go ahead. Go ahead. Who would you like to collaborate with there, Casey?
Well, as Anna mentioned, we have gotten to work together before, and I'm really happy because I sent Anna stuff like after living Greyhawk 10 or 12 years ago, and she incorporated it into her map, and that was amazing. So there are places on her map from her going through all the LG mods. But then she let me use her mod for some of my Pathfinder compatible adventures. So thank you very much, Anna. And I look forward to working with you on future projects. Yeah. And then, Mike, this is a little secret about the BK tourney. In the BK tourney, the bad guy was a cleric of Sokoth Beanoth. But for a split second, I almost changed him into a cleric of Tharizdun and based him on your characters from the webcomic. I was going to have him be the guy in the robes with the eyes, and the goggles, and all that.
Yeah,
but I just, the original author was, helping me out with it, so I didn't make the change. But I'd love to do something with like Tharizdun, and Mike's vision of him, even the comedic side. Right in the BK. Carlos, anytime we can cross paths, I'm getting more comfortable again with my AD&D roots because of Jay's game. I've still got the books. If we could do something in the BK, and anytime as soon as we both have time, all you have to do is ask.
I'm down with that, man.
Even if it's a paragraph,
it would be more than that. Actually, it's funny you should say that. I have a player right now that's interested in Rook Roost, so.
Well, speaking of Rook Roost, right? Isn't Will the one publishing all the crazy Rook Roost detailed stuff? And he's not here right now. But when I get dug out on free time, I want to look at that and see what I could incorporate into my, home campaign and whatnot. Oh yeah, there's the map.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. Thank you, David.
See the text.
Wow.
It's in there somewhere. Anna,
see Skip's name in there too. Cool.
Yeah, awesome. Skip does all my editing. And then I do need to catch up and read more stuff that's out there, like Tommy's stuff and whatnot. But John, I want to play at your table if you ever have an opening and you just need a filler. I'd be happy to. As well, but finally, reaching the ever mysterious Tim. We've gone back and forth a little bit here, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and say, Jay, next time Tim plays, go ahead and give him that hero point.
Oh, that's so nice. One regular.
So now that we're kind of have this, alliance, we're gonna go ahead and pick on somebody else together.
Well, we should. Because hopefully in February, we're sitting at the table, COVID willing, so to speak.
Yeah.
That I can physically come down there for that one. And if Jay will have me playing with y'all, we can have Garn and some of your shenanigans going on. You had a Cornholio character last year. I don't know if you'll play the same guy, but anyway, Tim's great to play with, is what.
Oh, you mean Murdoch the Mighty, the one with the multiple personalities?
The A team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Jay,
you made
I
that
have
guy
to-
when you were 11.
Jay, I'm sorry, I have to go. But
That's
I wanted
okay,
to-
John. Thank you for turning in that.
I want to, but before I go,
Yeah,
I want to parrot. I want to parrot Casey. I just dropped a hero point in. That's for Tim for Murdoch. So he's got another hero point now
2 regulars.
from
Got it.
me as well. I was waiting to cash in that 10,000. Couldn't wait. And thank you so much. What an honor to be on with all of you. I'm so excited about the panel and the growth of this community. Thank you, of course, to Jay, who we've all acknowledged as the sort of organizer, the central figure of this Greyhawk awakening, if I could use that phrase. And I think there's so many fun things coming for us in the community here. So thank you to all of you very, very much.
John, we'll see you soon. And don't forget, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central.
That's it.
Greyhawk Awakening coming up this
Thanks,
week.
everybody.
So, all right, John, see you soon. We're not done yet. Everyone okay? We run a little late here. Like I always ask that question. Everyone having a fun time on this discussion, and we got great
weekend, man.
We got great. All right, so we got great participation here. So let's answer David's question. I'll start. So Sheldamar Valley, I said last week, was my go-to spot. If I'm going to say, I'm going to go outside of any of the ones I used normally, and I'm going to go. And are you ready for this? Bandit Kingdoms. Bandit Kingdoms. All right. I've been thinking about it, and there's so many different factions I want to explore there. And I don't think, I'm sorry, Casey, but I think I'm going to be pre-living Greyhawking it a little bit. But I think it would be kind of cool to do that. But now, I'm in Narwhal, I'm in Vespi, I'm in Shieldlands, I'm in Hardby, I'm in Greyhawk, Wild Coast. I'm all over the place. So, but if
Have your Shieldlands group.
What's
go
that?
Off into the BK. Have your Shieldlands group go off into Red Hand, and then from there they can go north to the Rift Canyon, and then from there they can go into the Tangles and the.
It's a possibility.
And Rook Roost.
It's a possibility.
And do it pre-war, so you don't have to deal with IUs.
Well, we're right in the middle of the big IUs thing right now, and we stopped. We got a huge part 5. We stopped like months ago. We got to finish up. We may do that before Christmas actually to get that whole storyline arc done with the Knights of the Holy Shielding. But we'll see. But that's where I would go. So Anna, where would you play?
Vespi Forest.
Good one. Love it. Love the Vespi. Awesome.
That's something that I want to go to. But yeah, so yeah.
Fantastic. Mike, where would you play?
So I'm clear. The question is where we would like to play that we haven't been.
Well, your second choice, because for you it would have been originally maybe the Sea Princes or something, right? It also it's like so, and barring Ul, where would be the next spot that's your that attracts
I was
you?
gonna say you'd probably have to throw out Greyhawk as well, because I'd say 50% of my gaming is done in the city of Greyhawk.
Okay.
More recent stuff, Sea Princes. Let's see. So something else. I'm big Barbarian Lands. That's what I'm doing right now, as a matter of fact. But
cool.
I want to do more of that.
So ice, snow, and frost, or not? No
ice specifically. But
Okay.
I've done them all.
Cool. Awesome. Carlos, how about you?
This is I'm like having a minor meltdown right now, trying to think about what I would do, because I go out of my way to move my modules around from place to place, just so I can cater to a different. I keep in mind that every place in Greyhawk is somebody's favorite, so you need to try and touch on it and give it its due respect, even if it's something you don't necessarily your favorite. So I'm trying to think of what I would do, because I've done so many different places in Greyhawk right now. I just got finished doing Hepmona Land, so Amanda, it too, Amanda. I'm gonna say probably the Land of Black Ice.
Oh,
nice.
Oh yeah, that's
because I started investigating it with a group that PBM I mentioned I had Casey with before, and I have a feeling that it's a strong basis for that I would like to use that beginning of that game that I ran and some of the background material as the basis for a module.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there you go.
Tommy, how about you?
I've got a campaign over in Grand March and into the Dim Forest that's been ongoing for a long time, and I'd like to move it over into Jeff and start taking on the giants.
I want to change my answer.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I know one thing. Those Jeff Living Greyhawk people
That was a good one.
were so like they took you can't use Drell, and they're like what? You know, and they came up with this whole fade concept. I mean, poof.
Yeah, yeah,
just
it's fantastic. They did fantastic work. And
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
part of like you know, that's some of the stuff I'd like to see. You know,
So you would incorporate the Fae into yours as well, what they did a little bit with the Giants. Would you?
yeah, for sure,
Cool.
for sure. Yeah.
Very, very cool. David, this was your question. How about your answer? Outside of Rotic.
Well, I'd have to considering I'm usually over in the northeast end, and also like I've been doing most of my work there, but I'm really starting to get interested in that whole area around, you know, Ket, Tusmet, Ekbir, and Zeef, because it's like it's so different from anything else that's on the map.
Awesome.
Barring like Ket Monoland, right?
Yep. And you have the best guard dog in the family. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, there's two of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Which reminds me, by the way, I have a friend of mine who's been a contributor of mine for a long time. And he and I are going to be working on a project where we detail all the dog breeds of the Flyness.
Oh.
So that reminds me of that.
That's a cool idea.
Because I got sick of there just being war dog out there.
Right.
Yep.
And also one of my favorite pieces of history is the Silver Fox family of Greyhawk. They have the Silverhounds.
Right.
So I want to do stuff like that.
So I'm going to get to Tim and Casey in a second. Cannibal Eridar asks, does anyone know why the map for the Ghost of Saltmarsh book does not match the original map of the world of Greyhawk? Anna, you want to answer that?
Yeah, I want to, and it's probably because Dyson Logos didn't do his homework, and I can honestly say that he's one of the best cartographers in the business. But I've also worked on a whole bunch of commercial commissions and stuff, and you don't always have the time. And they send you an art order, and you do it. You don't read all the sources and stuff. So,
There was also some of the modules in that book were shoehorned into that area.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They were from Dungeon Magazine, a lot of them.
So it's
Yeah.
not
You have to
all
wonder why
new
they didn't go to
content.
Anna.
Yeah. Sorry.
You have to wonder why they didn't go to Anna. And also, it's
Well,
like
it
she's
was
just been
kind of,
working on it for
it's
20
kind
years.
of,
She would
yeah,
have did the
I
same
can,
thing.
yeah, I can actually disclose a little bit about the funny thing was that Wolfgang Bauer was the person that coordinated that module, and he actually said that they could. He wanted me to do it, so, but they went with Dyson probably because they already had him on the rooster, so to speak. So, and he was probably involved in a whole bunch of stuff, so they wanted the consistent style. So I don't blame them. But it's also the interesting, or the kind of the normal thing is that when you do cartography for a commercial project, it is on a tight budget, both time, especially time-wise, more than money-wise. Actually, it's usually the problem. So there is not, and the other thing is that you often have to start working on the map before the content is even written. So there is and you don't have time. Meaning, I do Midgard maps like a quarter of my time is Midgard maps, and there's so much Midgard material I'm not even aware of. So I just have to trust the ones giving me the art order, and I send them something, and they said change this and this and this, and then I send it back again. And I have no clue if anything more should have been changed. And so that's one. The other problem when it comes to maps in commercial projects is that the people that send you the art order are not that into cartography, unfortunately. So what they do is that they don't really consider all the things that you as a cartographer need to kind of take into account. The character of the land and all sorts of things like that they don't really think about. They send you a list of names and say, oh, that's mountainous area over there, and that's it. The art order might be 3 sentences and a bunch of names, and that's it. So you get very, very little, because of the most art directors and people that work with that coordination, they are used to art, dungeon art, and they're used to portraits and the occasional illustration. That's it. That's what they're normally handled. So cartography kind of falls on the outside, especially when it comes to large overland maps. That is a special genre that requires special consideration that a lot of publishers, that's normally out of their training ground, so to speak. It's out of their, and now I can say that after 10 years of actually dealt with, what is it, like 25 project or something like that with various, almost a half a dozen publishers, from small dungeon maps for little free adventures to whole worlds. And it's damn hard, and it's real, must be really hard to be a publisher to do that, because you have to give out an art order when most of the stuff is not even written yet. So it's damn hard to fit it in, and it has to fit in a budget. And so there's a lot of considerations that when I'm working on a fan project like Greyhawk, I can take all the time in the world, and I can do the research over years, and then kind of, now I know enough, then I sit down and do it. And I also have the most knowledgeable people scrutinizing, telling me what I need to do and what I've done wrong on a continuous basis. And I can go back and redo the work year after year after year. You have to realize that my Greyhawk map have had 10 yearly revisions now.
More than that, Anna. I bug
Well,
you almost every.
since it was all done, yes. But since
Is
it was
it
all
a
done,
living map?
it is a
It
living
is a
map,
living
because
map,
I'm
yeah.
working on changing it and updating it almost on a daily basis. I collect new stuff on a daily basis, put it in a long list, and then I realize now it's time to update it, and I do it again. And for commercial projects that just printed in a book, that's a one-shot deal, and then you're done with it. So that kind of explains why I'm not saying Dyson is a fantastic cartographer. It's just that when you work on commercial projects for commission like that, there's a lot of consideration. You don't have the time and the effort you can't go through
His
that
is
effort.
very minimalist, so the time
Yeah.
thing makes sense.
Yep.
You're not lying about art orders before things are finished either, by the way. I
Yeah.
mean, I dread having to create the art direction for modules all the time, because I think to myself, okay, it makes you do this one step beyond kind of thinking that if you have a last minute idea, forget about it.
Yeah.
So
I am not bashing Ghost of Saltmarsh. All I'm stating is in the chat, there is no new adventures in it. It's all old content that's rehashed. So be it. That's great. It's great that it got out to the community. It's upsetting they stripped Greyhawk out of it for the most part, but it just is what it is. And that's all the point I was trying to make was I would have liked to seen one new adventure in it somewhere.
Yeah.
That's all.
I would have liked to have seen them take what they did in 3rd edition Dungeon Master Guide 2, where they fleshed the hell out of that town.
Yeah.
You know, they gave
Yeah. Yeah, we forgot about that.
40 pages or something, the Dungeon Master's Guide 2, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
And instead, they completely trashed all of that development, which is only, 10 years old at this point. And they came up with an entirely new council for ruling the town and the buildings and the businesses. And they had that at their fingertips. And sure, the naval combat rules are kind of neat for 5e, but they're not mind shattering or earth shattering.
But they're in the source books. They're in the 2e source books.
They created side quests.
Yeah.
Right, but no,
those naval combats
the
are
current
in
5e crowd
2e.
isn't buying 2e.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're in
But
there.
anyway, they had some new side quests, to be fair to them, but they missed a massive opportunity to make that book something really special.
Absolutely.
And,
Sometimes the
that's
people
just
that
my
charge are not the people that know what's going on.
Yeah, and that's where the disconnect is. But once again, we don't want to get into the negatives. And I know Carlos and I have one thought process on it. Let's not go there on this. We're trying to stay as positive as possible on this discussion. Let's continue.
So let's go with Tim because we're
Tim,
all
where
waiting
would
for
you,
Casey?
Tim? Where would you go? Where'd you play?
Well, I did do the Bandit Kingdoms in college. So I would go one of 3 places.
Okay.
Eastern Great Kingdom.
Cool.
ID.
Yes.
And somewhere in the jungle. I need a fetid.
On land.
Yeah, I want to really bring the horrors of a jungle to players, and I think that would be. I mean, if you've never been in a jungle, I haven't been in a jungle. I know lots of people have been in a jungle.
There's this short adventure called, I think it's like the Shattered City or something. It's 2 or 3 sessions at the most, right?
I would do that.
500-page hardcover. It's like 3 years worth of playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a lot of good content during that era, right? That came out. So cool one. And Casey, let's finish this topic up.
I think about this quite a bit. I'm currently running Ghost of Salt Marsh, as I said, so I'm getting Keeland in there, and I'm messing it up with Iusians, which I love. So I think I would probably go Shieldlands. It's super close to home for me in the BK, but it's the exact opposite dynamic. You have all these idiot do-gooder paladins who need to go kill evil things, and so I could just run a campaign where it's like, hey, there's a monster over that hill terrorizing that village.
Yep.
Go kill that monster, and then they get all the adulation, and all the peasants are happy with them, and the lords, give them prizes and lands and castles, and you could just keep it really simple. And the whole everyone has to play a good alignment, and I use as a bad guy, we kill all of his demons. So that's probably what I would do, unless I went and did the Joff fight the giants thing and reran, say, G1 through 3. Probably maybe not do the whole go into the drow. And I could the D and the Q series, but just try and find out what I did or what they did during Living Greyhawk, and tweak it to make it my own. And then that's another heroic campaign. Humans fighting giants, pretty simple concept. Most of the giants are bad. They smash things. If you survive, you have to kill them back.
The classic of all
Kill
classics.
them back. I love it.
Yeah, the classic of all classics. I mean, it's according to G, the Spider Queen series is the #1 module of all time, according to that article Gary Julian was involved in. So, that's a fantastic place to be.
Sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally.
I said you have to kill them back, Carlos, because you'll have to get a raised dead, right? In that case.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, all right, another question. Anyone from the? We'll put out the audience for a little bit. We'll look. We'll do. We'll probably do another 20 minutes, and we'll do shout outs at that point, and then we'll raid into Stefan Picorni's game with Luke playing, and let's show the power of Greyhawk when they got like 68 watching now. Let's double the number. Let's do it, and that would be so cool. So, all right, thanks, Mike. We'll be around for another half hour, I think. All right, so. We all know you'd like to collaborate, who you'd like to collaborate with. Give me an idea, feasible idea, like the fundraiser event that we're doing, like Virtual Greyhawk Con. By the way, it's set for first weekend in October 2021. It's a definite, so everyone knows that. Give me an idea to continue to grow the community large scale. All right? And it could be conceptual. All right? So, Carlos, I see you're thinking.
Oh,
yes.
I want to jump in, but
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go, Casey. You go first.
This is actually from my wife, who doesn't have much to do with our community at all, other than supporting me. She was like, "Well, if COVID is better next year, why are you guys going to do Virtual Greyhawk Con as virtually again?" And I explained it to her because we should. It's an amazing way for people all over the country and planet to get together, and we have ironed out the kinks, and Jay has ironed out the kinks, and we know it works. But the granddaddy would be doing the Gen Con, Gary Con, physical con for, great Oktoberfest or whatever you want to call it at some point in time in the year, where we all pick a place in Nebraska that has an airport and we all fly to it, some hotel that's got ballrooms and whatnot. That to me would be the pinnacle of getting this community back together. I know Gary Con exists. I've never been.
Toronto has an extraordinary convention center.
Yeah, I love
When I think
ambitions. We can
Nebraska-
fill Toronto Convention
Yeah,
Center.
I didn't
Yeah.
think
And
of
there's
Canada
hotels
because
there.
Nebraska's the exact
If I go anywhere near Toronto, I'm probably gonna be
Hockey
watching
Hall of
hockey or
Fame.
something.
I've been there once.
Just down the street.
Bernie's masks.
I'll give you a tour, Mike, because Amanda and I were there, loved it.
Bernie Prance mask. Go there just.
I won't even make fun of the Blues. I promise.
Sorry, that's just my.
I think it's a fantastic idea,
Yep.
but let's plan.
We
for-
can reach out to Conrad.
Yeah. Yes, he's a perfect person to assist on that. Let's 2021. Let's grow Greyhawk Con more than we did this year, and then I think 2022. That's a good one. because then COVID's gone. Hopefully, everyone's back on their feet. Everyone's working again. You know what I mean? I think that's a great idea down the road, and make it separate from Greyhawk Con, because I really think virtually with all of us streamers is the way to go. Just because that's our biggest reach. And for me, if I go, and I was talking to my wife about this, and she's like, I'm really I know you got the badge already. I know I'm a little hesitant because it's not going to be, there's no way COVID's going to be gone in the middle of winter and you're going up to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. I know you always wanted to go, but your gig is streaming, Jay. So can you pay that way for another year? And I said, yeah, I got some ideas. I'm going to talk to Luke about them. And I threw out some ideas that, today when to meet, and after everything else goes off, so it's a great idea. I mean, the Living Greyhawk people come in droves. Right, Casey? I mean, you got a whole bunch of Living Greyhawk people attending that.
Oh, it'd be nuts. And then you could get the Greyhawk Reborn people as well, if depending on where you host the events. But yeah, I think we could easily get a couple of half dozen or more people who want to just play Living Greyhawk rehash mods from regions they never got to play. Look at what John did during Virtual Greyhawk Con, right? His life mods, I believe, were very popular.
Yep.
Yep.
You got to define good.
You could do anything you want. I'm just going to keep rolling on this because you could LARP. You could have one of the nights you have a 4-hour costume ball LARP, and it's an adventure that Carlos wrote. You can do anything you want.
Interesting.
Well,
yeah.
Yep. So that was a good one. Anyone else want to answer that? How to continue to grow this community? It's a good one.
Continuing to grow the community.
Yeah. What could we do? I mean, we're trying a lot of things.
For me, I think it's just if we keep doing exactly what we're doing now, we collaborate more, we keep doing it, we put passion in what we do, we coordinate what we do with others, so there is like a cross feed with different things, meaning when Carlos write a cool module with locations in it, I make sure I put it on my maps and so on and so forth. We kind of, we keep communication and we inspire each other, and then we keep doing it. I think we just keep doing that, and thanks now to all the awesome streamers, we get a chance to interact with audience and more fans and stuff. I think just keep doing it, and I think we will grow.
Boffrin just put something out there. Run newbie friendly games. Okay, so
that's
one
a
of
great idea.
the questions that came up in Greyhawk Con, and Grape Ape did this too, because he's not coming from a Greyhawk perspective at all. We're throwing so much information out there to kind of get a little lost. So we got to remember that we need to do Hamlets. We need to do Keep on the Borderlands or Kendall Keep or whatever. In Search of the Unknowns. U1s. We need to run them a little bit more, and in a convention setting too. So we got to remember that. I think for next year's Virtual Greyhawk Con. Keep having fun, Ryan. That's a great point too. Yep, absolutely. Anyone else want to tackle that? Before I tell you what mine is, and you're gonna go, you're crazy.
Well, I don't think that this is really necessarily feasible unless there's a pot of money that we can tap into. But it wouldn't be difficult to create some bang up advertising that it gets posted through Google placement, and I know a little bit about this kind of stuff, about Facebook advertising, Google advertising. This is how stuff gets done nowadays. So if you want to like advertise your Twitch streams or something like that, it doesn't take much. It's not expensive. The Facebook advertising is not expensive, and you can target. You can do really strong targeting for specific demographics even. And I think that would be a way that you could definitely grow the community.
Advertising works, and you guys see me blasting out stuff every week, and it works getting the word out. But some kind of campaign out there is a good idea. Maybe more professionally done.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would take some collaboration. I'm not just saying randomly throwing ads out, but like if we have specifically something that it's like it's promoting Greyhawk, kind of like the Seventh Day or the the Latter-day Saints, the Church of the Latter-day Saints with the Mormon ads. Those were fantastic. You know, I wanted to become a Mormon. I want, you know, watching these Mormon ads. That's what we need. We need that kind of like religious zeal, you know, that are creating these fantastic Greyhawk videos. You know, that make people say, oh yeah, Greyhawk, that was awesome. I want to connect with these people.
So I just saw a
I'm
suggestion.
sorry, Tommy. I've already converted to the worship of Vista.
So
you know, that was probably fate.
I noticed Tommy is like, you know, the only person had it. So at this time, I'm going to go pork pie. Just
yes.
Hey.
Yes, there you go.
So anyone else want to tackle this? Because I got two, one from the audience and one from myself. The audience one's funny, and I'm going to tell you a quick story. Lord Fourth put, get Len in a game. Okay, I tried that. That's all I'll say. Len is a rules ultimate 1E guy, and when I told him I had a second edition specialty priest of Ouija, he said, "No, I just want a cleric of Ouija. I don't want a specialty priest. I don't want any of that. Why do you roll group initiative? Why don't you use weapon speed factor?" And that went on for about 2 hours. And I was like, you know. So I tried to get Len in the game. So please, you know, don't. Note that I made that attempt. Len's on limited time as far as when he's available too. It would be very difficult. But Roger Moore, we're working on there. Von Molku, Anna's got a connection trying to get Roger Moore on the show. So there you go. And we're going to work on Rob Kuntz as well. So anyone else before
Good luck with that. I was trying that for a long time.
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough. We got Skip Williams coming though. We do have him coming down the road, so that's all right.
You know, if you want to grow with a 5e community, chances are you'd have to, you know, somehow get Perkins and Merles, you know, on the show. It also it's like as some sort of a guest, and not to get hounded at all. It's like on what they're doing with it also, but just to talk about, you know, their love of, you know, like they were both involved in the Living Greyhawk area, weren't they not?
Yeah, Merles
were
was.
both
I don't
writers.
think Perkins was, right?
Yeah,
But
Merles
Perkins may
was.
have been RPGA at some point. But
Merles-
Merles, isn't he kind of been ushered out?
Yeah, he's persona non
He's-
grata right
He's
now.
Yeah.
doing something else,
Yeah.
but yeah. But
I mean,
maybe
we
we
can-
can get him. Yeah.
So
I'm just saying from their point of view.
Merles
I feel you, Casey. I thought the same thing.
Merles did a lot with Necromancer games in 3rd edition, and Siege of Durgam's Folly is one of my favorite ones from them, and he wrote it, and I'd love to have him on just to discuss the old stuff. So, you know, we can absolutely reach out to him as well, definitely.
Yeah, because when you bandy about the old names, it also like for all of us, those who are, well, you know, gray and follically challenged. Well, you know, we are, you know, we're the ones who love those names like Skip Williams and you know, Kuntz and so on, and also it's like because that's all part of our youth and also, but the younger people, that's like telling them, and also it's like that you're going to get Henry Hudson on, and you know, they're not going to know.
Right.
Even better, Henry Hill.
Get Tim Kask, right? He likes being on podcasts.
So I wrote Tim a big long message. He put back yes, no. He put back the words okay, and I sent him another one 2 weeks later, and he sent back the letters okay. I didn't know what the answer to that was. So we're trying.
You just need to give him a date.
Yeah, well, Tim
Right,
does
and
his
the
own
login information.
podcast and is comfortable with that now, and I respect that. So, you know, but we'll keep on trying. There's a lot of people I've tried that I've struck out on. There's a lot of people that I've been very successful with, and Carlos the same way. Carlos gets a lot of interviews on there. So this is what my suggestion is. I tried this during Virtual GrowlCon. I think I was partially successful. Tie in the names that the Luke Gygax, Eric Mona names, Stephen Chenault helped us with that as well, into this community to get them more involved in this community, to give us that street cred. That's what I tried to do with my game on that Saturday night. I think to help us with, because people wanted to go see Luke play. We saw that, right? And I think that is a way that we all need to, you know, I don't want to hound these people, but I think a little bit here and there I'm not talking about the Hollywood aspect of it. I'm talking about the gamer true legend aspect of it, to get them involved in more events.
Well, you did hashtag them, didn't you? And also it's like on your on the YouTube, you know, like video that you posted for that game, you know, like the All-Star game.
Absolutely.
You know, that's how you get people, I suppose, and also nowadays with Google.
And I don't want to brag, but Luke flipped me off.
That's right, he did. He did. He did.
He flipped off the villain.
Nazem,
not
yeah,
me.
he did.
The character,
Well,
not me.
Yeah.
Is this
Are you
that,
sure?
I was gonna.
I was
beat
gonna say, are
that
you
Mike
really
and
100%?
take every seat. I was ready.
What was that, Tommy?
is this that tongue of Ruggiero?
Yeah, Ruggiero
Blood-
Blood Moon. That's from my campaign. Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Ruggiero Blood
Is
Moon's
this
like.
you got to send me the link to that. That sounds legendary. I read about that on Mike's blog.
You should have played the video of Tim and the tongue cutting tool.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys
The
talk.
video is
Wait.
pretty legendary.
You all talk. I'm gonna prepare it for now. How's that sound? Give me a second. I gotta find it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I will find.
Okay.
It's a mongrel. It's a mongrel of the putrid tongue, so we can see how crazy Tim is. We will play that.
No, but I can't believe you didn't have that ready to go for the.
Yeah.
I did and I forgot. Okay, you gotta give me. Here we go. I'm gonna throw this in real quick. Hopefully, I don't crash the stream. You ready? Going to scene 16. I'm gonna throw it in. Here we go.
No sound.
He says it's playing on the screen.
Yeah, the sound is.
Oh yeah.
Jay.
There you go.
Well, no sound, but still.
Well, it is.
Tim, you should have done the sounds live with the video.
There you go.
There
Yeah.
were-
Oh yeah. If you play again, I'll do the sounds.
Yeah. So the whole point of that was during the very first adventure I did with the Living Greyhawk group, they ran into the mongrels of the Putrid Tongue, another group out in the Cairn Hills. They've been kind of decimated, but they're like semi on their way back, like any cult. And I was waiting for the moment where one of the Living Greyhawkers got their tongue cut out, and I was ready to play that vid.
I was desperately trying to give points to the bad guys to make that happen. And
So-
Jay was too big into
it was pretty
balancing
close.
and being fair
Oh my
to
gosh.
make it happen.
Yes. So there you
No,
go.
Dude, one of the characters failed their save against Hold Person, and they were probably a round away from having their tongue cut out. But Garn, being the awesome character he is, ran over there and saved his bacon.
Yep. Absolutely. It was a fun.
Exactly. Like I said, Jay was too busy being fair.
So
Quick question for Casey.
Fairness.
I've got the 4. Is there any more?
There is not, unfortunately. I did start working on the next one. And then I got like engaged, and then, wedding planning, and now condo selling and house buying simultaneously. And it took a lot of work to do the BK tournament and convert it from 3.0 to Pathfinder, more work than I was actually expecting, and to get the map up to roll 20 snuff, so it didn't look like Bantha Poodoo, so to speak. Mike, what'd you think? Did the map work okay?
Yeah. I've never used Roll20 before, so I think it was pretty good for first time.
Cool. But so the next one, I mean, I really should do more than one a year. I really should just get inspired by Carlos's productivity and start cranking them out. Because I've got, obviously I have the adventures in 3.x.
Not only that, you've got a built-in audience, Casey. Everybody, people are eager to support you.
Well, thank you.
It's not going to have to be like me, where I had to build an audience to begin with.
the great thing is that Casey can tap into that Living Greyhawk austere, I don't know what the word is, but the history of it, utilize that and really bring it back to the modern day. And people want that. There's a lot of people that want it. And I love being able to run. Now I got 2 Living Greyhawk groups I'm running on Saturday Night Specials, Casey's group and the Geoff group, and they are fun nights to DM too. So I mean, more of that back for all of us in Living Greyhawk, I think is a great thing. And this was just a little taste of what Casey did. Plus we had Greyhawk Reborn. Greyhawk Reborn did 15 games during GreyhawkCon, and all of them went off, which was great. They did a ton of great content, and it was really fantastic to have them as basically a partner during GreyhawkCon last weekend. So
I suspect COVID has actually been a good thing for Greyhawk Reborn, because from my understanding is, to avoid Wizards of the Coast attention, only the author can run the adventures at
legally.
Greyhawk Reborn. That's how they get around the IP
That's
issues.
what I heard.
So
Correct.
they were doing cons in Jersey and Pennsylvania and wherever, and they'd have their fan base in Jersey and Pennsylvania, but they didn't have authors all over the country. But now with the virtual environment, they can do that. And then Mark CMG had a question in the chat I want to answer real quick. He said, do Triad people have access to a list of former Living Greyhawk players who could be contacted to see if they are lapsed but interested in getting back into Greyhawk play? And the answer to that is unfortunately no. We have no player records data because that would have all been
Sent.
RPGA based on RPGA numbers. There was no modern system like Pathfinder Society has where they actually tracked the adventure play. It was all a paper trail, these certificate systems. So I do ping the old Bandit Kingdoms Yahoo group, which still had like 450 people on it the last time I checked. But the problem is half those people have Hotmail or AOL email accounts.
And Leonard still has to lead him into AOL.com, which is insane to me. But yeah, all right. So
I still have a lot now.
here's what's happening with Living Greyhawk. Then I'm going to answer Michael Zudrak's question in chat. Living Greyhawk, Casey is the spearhead of this of what Anna, Mike, and I do in Legends and Lore, and he has coordinated all since the Bandit Kingdom one's getting all these great triads on the show. So if you want to give someone 100% credit, it goes to Casey. He's done fantastic with it. We have Nyron coming up. We have Renee Ayala and that crew coming up shortly. So we have another group of.
Well, I've got to get more because Renee actually isn't in touch with his former colleagues. So if anyone in the audience played Nyron Living Greyhawk and knows any of those triad members, please send me a direct message on the Discords or the Facebooks or here in the Twitches, because right now we just don't have anyone else. And maybe we'll just expand it out to be more of a meta-regional show and invite on some of the triads from other regions. But I want to thank Jay for the kind words, because without Legends and Lore, there would be no resurgence in the interest of Living Greyhawk beyond the people who just want to collect the adventure.
Yeah, true.
So you guys
see
had,
what they could have used, what they were like, and I.
So you guys already had like that guy from Tusnet on once, and also, so I was wondering, and also like if he was in, contact also with his old triad group, and also it's like, or even the Ket guys.
So Casey's trying
JP.
to, JP Cepolo.
Yeah, I'm trying to make like a mapping, so to speak, where people from regions we haven't had on yet, and I have a tracking sheet, will hear about it and be like, hey, A, they want to join us and be part of the community, but B, come watch Jay's shows, come participate, come ask questions, come answer questions, and then volunteer to be on this show. And that has happened. There's been people who found us, and have reached out to me.
So Urscribe, reach out to Casey, who's our Draco, both in Discord and in Twitch. If you have any contacts for that would be great. And you can always link up on Counterfire if you're not already on there. That would be great.
I'm our Draco everywhere.
Yes. So the question Michael Zudrak had was, his wife asked me, do you only DM 100% of the time, or do you play, and do you like playing? And the answer is, once in a blue moon, I get to play in the ever mysterious Tim's City State of the Invincible Overlord campaign. Okay, when Tim DMs it. And the last time I played in it, if you were lucky enough to watch that, I almost shit myself on camera with what happened.
One of those looks. I got one of those looks.
Yeah, he got one of those looks. So the answer is yes. And it's old school, and I play in that. And myself and Anna and Will and a couple from my other team played in. We did the Big Bad, which is it was 5e, and it's a TV show coming out on the Wandering DMs, it's a podcast. It starts Tuesday night on the Wandering DMs on YouTube, and we're the 6th week. There's 6 teams. And Stefan Picorni had a team that Luke was on, so they had their group and all, and we were the last team to go. I taped the award show yesterday, so you get to watch me play that. Yeah, the Big Bad is going to be pretty cool. So there you go. So why don't we do, I know we're running a little late here, why don't we do some shout outs here for everyone, and then we'll do the drawing, and then let's raid into Stefan's game, and surprise them with a bunch of fans here. So Luke said he was robbed he was not, so Luke, you can't give away anything, but Luke, says he was robbed, which means Luke didn't win. So there you go. So, but it was a great. Yeah, we were going to raid into Stefan's game. That would be fantastic. So let's go around the table. And if anything we didn't mention that you'd like to about the community, please do that. And we'll hit some shout outs. Aaron, I want you to start us off.
Okay, so there's a blog post coming soon that I will present more screenshots and snapshots and stuff for the upcoming generation of Greyhawk maps. There's some cool stuff, detailed maps that will show a little bit about what's possible with the I did just a few screenshots from in Flanders Geographical Society about the new river system, the details. That will be some more of that, and also the appendix to the atlas is underway, so there will be some first shots of the heraldry section. So I'm working with a couple of different concepts, so we'll see. So I'm going to put that on my Patreon page soon and see if I can have a poll or something, and they could figure out if it should be alphabetically listed, geographically listed, or so there are a few considerations. So, but those are the two big things that is underway: is the appendix for the first appendix for the atlas, and also the reason I'm getting so deep into doing an area for the upcoming is, first of all, research for future Greyhawk work, and also for my campaign. So that is upcoming games. And so Southern Shield lands on the Nurdiv coast will be the area from Critwall to Axport will be the focus of the campaign at first. So that's what I'm mapping in 5 feet per pixel detail. So, and it's starting to look damn good. I must say that I'm really pleased with the results.
I don't know about that blood. Thank you, Anna. I don't know about that Blood Wild, but it probably is the final. Yeah, I don't think they're doing any live stream content on Monday. I could be wrong because it's a holiday though, Blood, because I'm not really that involved. So, and this is part of Autumn Revel too. This discussion, but probably is. So, Mike, what do you got going on?
Well, over at Greyhawkery, if you've been following, I'm running a column called the Ring of 5 Questions.
Yep.
So everyone go to the blog, email me your responses, and I'll post them out and discuss them.
Can we go backwards in time and go to your first ring of questions?
Why?
Play catch up?
Because he wants to. Because he wants to do the first ring of questions.
The first time I did the column, I was featuring notable people who were published and this and that, and now I'm more wanting to go for the fan interaction.
No. I mean, right now, your resurged first one.
Yes. Yes. Sure. For Casey, anything. Just say yes.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Don't.
Just say, shake your head.
Terrible precedent.
Yes, Casey, you can do that.
No, you don't want to do that, people. Trust me.
Yes, Casey, you can break all the rules in my game. It doesn't matter. Tim's not going to abuse it after that. Just don't worry. Awesome.
But that's it.
Hey, there's
there he is.
Gary Holian.
There's Gary. It's a great column, Mike. Yes, it is.
Attaboy, Gary.
There you go. Gary got on. Gary got on. Awesome. Carlos, what do you got going on, man?
Well, I'm doing my newest. I just put to bed my newest module. The next thing will be the charity stream that I'm doing for Cheetah Conservation Fund that we talked about at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I hope everybody can be a part of that and watch that and contribute as they're able. After that, I've got Horror in the Hools that's coming up. As you know, Jay, I'm sure that
Horror in the Swamp.
We even know what we're going to call it, but we are definitely going to call it something, which is the important part, that it's going to be done. Besides that, I'm doing probably at least 20 to 30 pages a month in my Patreon for everybody to look at. Every month, I think people, when they see that I'm doing adventure cards for the Patreon, they don't realize that they average 10 to 15 pages. So I'm doing mini modules for that. The newest one I'm doing is another 30 encounter mini module. Yeah. So actually, Gitano, that's one of the ones I was bandying about that name. But so yeah, you guys that are members of the Patreon that get mini modules will be able to see that. You get a magic item of the month. You get a spell of the month. You get a brand new monster of the month. You get 3 character sheets with. Anyway, I'm doing all that stuff. I'm doing my streaming games, which I do for high level Patreon. So I've got a lot of irons in the fire right now. I'm doing a lot of different things.
Carlos is a machine.
Yeah, I feel like it sometimes. I feel like that's all I do is write. But that's okay. It's my passion. I love this stuff, and that's you know, you got to do what makes you happy, and that this makes me happy. The fact that it's being the people are responding to it and they like it, and that people want to work with me and stuff like that. I feel like, I mean, it's just for me, it's validation that what we're doing is working. It's validation of the setting that people love Greyhawk still, and they want to be a part of it. So I just do my best to make you guys proud. And I mean that from all you guys, you creators and everybody out there in the crowd. Just want to make you guys proud. That's all.
I want to say this.
Keep it up. Keep it up. It's like you can buy WotC from Hasbro and then rewrite everything with all the names you want. I know.
That's right.
The first adventure Carlos.
If I win the lottery.
Yeah. We all say that. The first adventure Carlos wrote for me. We talked the one night. He goes, "I'm going to write you up something." He comes back and he sends it to me. It's 9 pages long. I was like, Carlos, we just talked 8 hours ago. Yeah. I wrote it. I couldn't sleep anyway. I was up and I wrote it. And it was 9 pages. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's a short one for me, Jay.
Yeah. It was pretty incredible. Absolutely.
Yeah. Amanda was mentioning that we've got a new group of players that are coming in.
Beautiful.
I did a 33 encounter piece for them yesterday night. So that'll be pretty good. It's probably why I feel like I'm half dead right now.
It's understandable. Doing cons is tiring. It is.
I know, Rich. I know. This is exactly why you're waiting for it. I don't know if you were here earlier when I took your name in vain. I realize I'm delinquent. It'll be. It's high on the list. Believe me.
He's waiting for 4 from me. So
yeah,
don't feel bad, Carlos.
I know, and he kids, but it's something that's weighing on my mind.
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to mine as well. So
yeah, but anyway, so I'm doing a lot of work, and like I said, thank you guys for responding to it and giving it a chance. Because I remember when I first started writing stuff for Castle Entertainment, my biggest worry is that people wouldn't give it a chance, because it would be like, you know what? No, this guy, who the hell does he think he is? Why in the hell is he writing Greyhawk stuff? And all I really ever wanted to do was to help keep the setting alive. I was worried about the new generations coming in. Thanks so much, man. I just felt like I was scared that we wouldn't have an audience eventually if nobody was doing stuff currently. I love you, David, brother. And I just, the fact that people are responding to it, and the fact that
when you buy, you get a personalized card.
Yeah, you do. I always put a personalized card in with every one.
Very cool.
So because it really means something.
I got you, Romans. You're good. You're good.
You guys,
you're keeping it on. You're good. I got you. Don't worry if you win. I got you.
But anyway, I just, thanks so much. Thanks so much. I appreciate it, man. I feel like I just want to. I'm just doing this because no one else is. If Wizards came back tomorrow and they said, "Hey, listen, we're doing Greyhawk," and I looked at it and I was pleased with what they did, I probably would start a homebrew campaign the next day. But the fact is, they're not, and somebody needs. I elected myself. So, but thank you so much for your support, and it really means the world to me. And everybody here that mentioned that they want to collaborate with me at some point in time, well, I want that too. So.
Carlos, I'm ecstatic and excited about horror in the whatever.
Madness in the Mars. Someone put it.
Jay, it's something I've wanted to do for over a year now. So believe me, it's coming out, and I'm happy. I'm pleased that it'll be out there. JS1 is right around the corner.
Awesome. I'll never forget.
I actually even have an artist in mind now for the cover.
Beautiful, unbelievable. I'll never forget that day at Gen Con when we were there and that was the only day you were there. You drove all the way there and you drove all the way back. I'll never forget all the individuals who were playing in that game, and Taco Turtle was one of them, John Cowart. And I remember, I did the 5, then you did the 5. We had a little break in between, so it was a long first day that Thursday. Right. Marco was there helping out. I never forget the 2 or 3 guys that went out the door, and as they're going out, they're going, "What a great way to start Gen Con." I remember
them saying that.
Yeah, and that was just like, oh my gosh, that felt so wonderful. And that joint adventure was, and that's the collaboration end of it. Everyone,
Yeah, unless you guys think that Zeronathon is kidding over there. One of the first things I actually did publication wise is I actually did My Little Pony Friendship is Magic adventure. I wrote it for the Gygax girls. I ran for them because I knew they would be bored at GaryCon. So he's not kidding when he says that. And the day that you let me publish something through Hasbro, I'll put that one out there for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Carlos.
You're welcome. You're welcome, man. And I thank you again. Your support means the world to me, because you took a guy here who doesn't really necessarily trust his own stuff and doesn't really think he's worth all that much as far as writing. I'm nobody special, and you guys make me feel really special. So thank you.
Our pleasure. The community is behind you 100%, guaranteed.
Yep.
David, what would you like to say?
What was the question?
Shout outs, man. And any closing comments?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'm still, what can I say? I'm having a fabulous pandemic. I've had so much time now to do the research and the writing that I've been doing. And also I'm actually a couple of months ahead, for a change, as opposed to scrambling to try to get something done and also by Friday. So, I'm continuing on with the histories and continuing on with some bios, and also I'm continuing on with thoughts on classic modules and such. And also I've been delving into what I think the age before ages is, and I've I got my hands on a lot of the Ekbir and Tusmet modules, and also it's like, and most of them are in French, if not all of them, and so I've been putting some translation tools to it, and then trying to iron out between French to English.
Very, very cool. And just keep it up with the blog post, man. That's just so awesome. Everything is, it's exciting. Just I know the amount of research you do is under. I would say, I appreciate it. It is a lot. I mean, the work you do into that is fantastic.
Yeah, when I first started looking back into Greyhawk and realized just how much had been published, I wished for something like David's work to be in existence. And so now it's just fantastic.
And shout out to Rich's postcards on Cannon Fire as well.
Oh, those are fabulous.
You combine the two of those somehow.
Well, that's almost we put all that together and got a new source book there. So that's fantastic.
David, thank you. I'll do Tim last. Tommy, what do you got?
I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just kind of coasting.
That is so bluntly, nicely.
Lord, I long for the day I can say that.
The Hateful Wars discussion points that you brought up were so fantastically incredible. And so you're working on is it a novel?
Yeah. That's easy. I just release that little piece at a time, because I've pretty much written a first draft of everything, and so the second draft is what I'm posting. Okay. So I just put up about a chapter a week is what it comes out to. That's not so much. I did get back to working on my girl Igwil, and it's got a piece that's going to be coming out. That's what Carlos was helping me with. It's got a piece that'll be coming out in the next Earth Journal. So that's exciting. We're building up to the big heist, where the stories of Daoud of Tusmet are going to intersect the Mother of Witches storyline, and so things are starting to come together. But I just got to get some time. I have to get some time to dedicate to it. I've got a lot of other things that are demanding my time and attention, including grandchildren that seem to be just absolutely mesmerizing to me. So,
Well, we appreciate it, and I will get you that information on the upcoming adventure, so you can throw that in there on the idea I got for the town of Defile's End. So I will get
yeah,
that to you.
yep.
No problem. Casey, what do you got going?
Well, I need to really get cranking on Seaton for Earth Journal write-up, because I'm going to have to send it to Gary first for his input, since it's set in Keeland. This is based on my Ghosts of Saltmarsh. In Ghosts of Saltmarsh, you have a magic item seller who's a tiefling worshiper of IUs. So, of course, I told the party, who didn't know anything about Greyhawk, you can't trust her. You know, one of you is a cleric of Paylor. You know this. So now I've had to flesh out Seaton so they can go magic item shopping. Well, since I'm already fleshing it out, I might as well make it publishable. And I promised Christoph I would give that to him. But I also want Gary to look it over, because obviously Gary is the master of Keeland.
Yep.
And I've realized now, after the virtual Greyhawk Con, that I need to start my next tournament preparation basically immediately, because quite frankly, my wife was a little concerned by how much time I was spending getting ready for the con, and it worked out great. But taking a mod from 3.0, not 3.5, but 3.0 to Pathfinder, and then taking these 18-year-old maps and putting them into Roll20 and adding all the effects that I added took quite a bit of time. And, you know, sure, the author was willing to make new maps for me, because that's what he does nowadays for 5e mods. But I wanted to keep the old school vibe. So I've already picked out the next BK tournament mods in my head, and I want to just start on that right away. And then finally, like David says, I really need to get back to writing my Pathfinder compatible conversions of my Living Greyhawk adventures. I know that I've already started on it. It's just been sitting there, but it's one set in the Tangles Forest, and it's got basically a three-way fight between a crazy group of kobolds, some evil fae, and a green dragon and the PCs. So four-way fight. So it was a really fun mod to do in Living Greyhawk, and I just need to get my butt back in gear and get that one published.
Well, I know your tournament was one of the hits of Greyhawk Con, and I'm so happy that you're going to do another one. I mean,
Yeah, so tell your wife that everybody appreciates
you.
her, the sacrifice and that sort of thing, and that she got a shout out from us tonight, you know, for lending you the time.
Yes.
Yeah, we should probably all thank our spouses, because God knows how much time we have to, light to this.
Definitely.
We need to send Jay's wife roses.
Yeah.
Like, for real. I've met Saint Scott.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's really, she puts up with a lot of. It's been 24 years, and I'm very fortunate. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have to tell you guys all about my merchandise Valkyrie, Amanda Rue. She's she's the important half of what I do. So if it wasn't for her doing all the hard stuff behind the scenes, there's no way I could focus on writing.
You know what? It's like way back when I was beginning all this, I was probably only a couple of months into it. And then, so, you know, there was so many times I was kind of like scrambling to get my, you know, my Friday or Saturday morning piece out and such. And it dawned on me one time, and it's like that, you know, maybe there's some people out there who are expecting me to do this week after week after week. And then I had this frightened moment, and where I thought, oh my God. And then I just realized, you know, when you look at, say, you know, Mike Bridges's, you know, his blog, same thing, and also with Jason, the same thing, and also with Joe Blogs, that how much content they've put out over the years. And then I just went, oh my God, how the hell did they do this? You know, for like, you know, 5, 8, 9, 10 years, every single week, twice a week.
Let me tell you how.
Longevity is astounding. Longevity is astounding.
It's like eating an elephant.
Little bites at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just try to make things entertaining and educational at the same time. I just go wherever the wind takes me, you know, because, you know, you burn out if you just do one thing too much.
Right.
So there you go.
sometimes my bites seem to be way too big, especially when they come
Right.
in like
And
8 pound
those are
boards.
fun. I have them long form ones as well. And then, yeah, go down that rabbit hole.
It is. I'm telling you. Well, let's finish up with Tim. Tim.
Well, I feel your pain on the whole map thing, because I had like maps, but this wasn't good enough. I was supposed to have digital maps. Apparently, Carlos was giving me some stuff about it. So next time I'll have to like do some digital maps. But
They looked
But that's a good
fantastic.
point Tim just made. We're all learning from each other right now,
Yeah.
due to COVID and digital stuff. Like I know Carlos has been streaming, for what, 2 years now?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And Jay and whatnot. But we're all learning and seeing what works for me. Like, I used Sirenscape during the BK tournament because I bought one of the $5 packages that was Insane Asylum noises. That was a new thing for me to try.
It is.
I think I've seen that on someone's stream.
Yeah.
Note this. I screwed up the first minute and a half of the show tonight with not having my mic on, right? In XSplit. So it's been 2.5 years. I still make mistakes. So
I streamed for 9 hours yesterday because I thought I shut down XSplit. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Even when streaming, and also it's like you can, like obviously Jay and Nights Heart Gaming, and also it's like it can show that you can blend high tech with low tech at the same time. There was this I shared a couple of what's his name, T. Elliott Cannon. He's a classic T.
Yeah.
And it's like he does some extraordinary stuff, and he always denigrates himself. So he puts himself down saying, "Oh, these crappy little scratchy maps." And also it's like, and they are extraordinary. And also because once you have that with either the tokens or the minis on there, and also it gives you this level of perspective that I never had because I was always theater of the mind.
I mean, I did use quill dipped ink to make my map, so they were made, as close to reality as you can. But
the Tim touch.
Yeah, and I'm looking at I sent out to everybody in my in the Dark Hand. I sent out the post-operation report that you happen to get a copy of, and I can't let that go. So I'm thinking about sometime in the distant future or near future, wherever, of the second mission for the Dark Hand.
I have an idea. If you want to hear it, Carlos, you want a day off?
They haven't said they really want to do it, so let's just wait.
Well, I want a day off
from your fundraiser during that week. You could have Tim fill in one day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've got a question for Tim. If you could put that map back up again, and also I'm just wondering what sort of ink you used because it kind of looks like dry blood.
He would massacre my players so bad.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like dry blood.
This actually is supposed to be it's torn parchment, torn leather that came from a bit of leather that a prisoner had, and he sketched out what he could before he escaped.
Perfect.
Tim's very realistic.
Would have told us that it was dried blood. I would have
dried blood one. This is the dried blood.
You saw the tongue rip out. It had blood on it. It looked like blood. I mean, it's just like, and he had his daughter doing the noises, which is crazy. I mean, so it's all, it's all so fantastic.
I'm considering doing an article on the heirlooms of the tribal legends, because I made a bunch of custom barbarian weapons, like a lot.
I think it's a great idea. Absolutely, you should. Definitely, and we get that in Earth Journal. That'd be great. It'd be fantastic. Thank you all tonight. I'm going to do quickly just to tell you what's going on the channel here. This was a fantastic discussion about the future of Greyhawk and the community coming together. And like I said, I really appreciate the accolades. I mean, Will made me tear up with that the one comment. Without all of you, on Twitch, I mean, none of it matters. We got to keep the community growing. We got to keep the community moving in the right direction. And Anna always has told me this: it's much better to go like this, slightly up the slope, then peak, and then crash and burn, right? So let's just keep on. She's right. Let's keep on doing what we're doing and just keep on. I like to challenge myself. Virtual Greyhawk was the last challenge I had. Next challenge I'm going to do is the 30. It's up to 32-hour fundraiser event. That'll be it. Always challenge yourself. You always just take that one step beyond. Thank you, Von Moku. Just keep it going. Steady growth for all of us. Steady, topics out there on the bloggers, discussion points. I think we'll all continue to move forward in the right direction. So here's what's coming up this week. 3 days, only 3 days, a normal week for me, 3 streams. Wednesday nights, we go to, this is Anna's topic, and I think it'll be very interesting. Mike has given me some ideas, the economies of Greyhawk. I think this will be a cool topic on Legends and Lore. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about inner trade. We're going to talk about how you get the money off player characters, right? Fines, all sorts of fun things. So it'll be an interesting.
I'm ready for that topic.
Yes, Mike.
Yes.
Is Gloretti going to show up for that one?
Oh yeah. Gloretti Bacani. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is the Ledgers and the Ledgers version.
And we'll talk about
Brought to you by
coinage.
Adventure
We'll take input from the audience too on this one. So
Yeah, definitely, we need it.
absolutely on this one. But it's a topic we've never touched before, so let's tackle it. I always like to tackle difficult topics, so let's try that one. This is a new, so I got a 2-weeker coming up, and I'm showing some Build a Master Crafter vids on this, adventure number 892, Awakening of the Terrors. This takes place in one of Carlos's favorite lands. It takes place in the county of Ulick at the end of the Druids' Defile. The town is Defile's End, a very small town, and something is happening there. And the worst named adventuring party in my campaign, Tim, named what?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was typing.
The worst named adventuring party that you.
The best named.
The Omega Patrol.
Last patrol you will ever need.
The Omega Patrol will be sent out.
That wasn't my idea.
That sounds like a Saturday morning anime
That's exactly right. It's terrible.
It's in syndication and making tons of money.
Oh my gosh. So, but I'm
Which is why they're going to have a show about how to take money away from players next week.
just another day in the county of Ulick, and we'll have Reaper miniature giveaways during this week, and then next week we'll have Gamescape 3D giveaways for the next 2 weeks during that stream, Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Next week's topic, we've had so many gloriously momentous streams on Gabbin. I hate to do it, but I got to bring it down a notch, man. We've had Eric Mona, we've had Luke Gygax, we've had James Jacobs, we've had Jim Ward, we've had Bowman, Jason Bowman. We had last week's Ask the Experts. We had tonight, all unbelievable. We're going to go down a little bit a notch. Gabbin 114 is going to be the Shieldlands, recent history in my campaign, okay? Because we really are in a crucial point, and if we're going to run this stuff coming around before the end of the year, I want to go back and tell everyone where we are to date, what's going on in my Shieldlands campaign, what Anna's got going on in hers a little bit too, of course, and we may have a guest or two as well in addition to Anna on this one, and that'll be next Sunday night. I just got yelled at by my son for talking too loud, so there you go. And that's what's going on here. And I've linked these. Here are the pics of a new piece of terrain. This is a toll booth for a toll road coming out of the Druids' Defile that Build a Master Crafter is working on. Yes, for Thursday. This is our Gamescape 3D print. It fits right into the road system, so I'm going to brag on him a little bit. John wants to steal him, but yeah. So this is all custom. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's got a guardhouse and a toll booth. Pretty neat. You'll see that on the table.
Jay, just stop, because now I gotta buy a 3D printer next year.
Of course.
We're thinking about getting a second one, actually.
You've already got it.
Yeah,
Should have already got one.
Just to keep it going. What's
It's
that?
been a busy year, Tim.
Yeah, it's we're thinking about going with the second one there. So that's what's going on. Yes. All right, let's close out this. Now, hopefully I don't crash the stream. Let's get the giveaway going. Then we're going to raid into Gary Con, and we're going to give Luke and Stefan some love there. All right, here we go. Let me close this out and not crash it. All right, first winner will be for digital copies, courtesy of Troll Lord Games, of these two fantastic Luke Gygax. This one's by Luke and Ernie Gygax, the Lost City of Gaxmore, and also by Luke Gygax, the Under Caverns of Gaxmore, plus the map set, all in digital. That's a fantastic giveaway item. And that's from
I
Troll
think
Lord
it's
Games.
kind of funny that you have Eric Mona's face up, but also while you're putting up the Troll Lord Games.
Absolutely. And the
Yes.
funny thing was that Steven and Eric and Luke and all, they all played together, and it was such a fantastic. I mean, that was just that was my dwarven crafting of a weapon that I don't know if I'm ever going to get past that point ever again in my life with that DMing that game that night. So I mean, that's how fantastic that was. So all right, you guys good? I'm going to close it out. Hey, what's up, Phantom? Closing it out in 10 seconds. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Let me resume it. Go ahead. Go in quick. Go. 10, 9, 8, 7. If you want to sign up again, sign up. 5, 4. There you go, Phantom. All right, here we go. If it didn't pop up, you're already in. Closing it out. Hey, look at Gary. If Gary wins this, I'm going to bust his stone something fierce, don't you think, everyone here? So, oh, thank you very much, Canadian, for that. Here we go. The winner of this is, we have two giveaways. This is the first one. Gabbin the Grouch, are you on? You must be on to claim this prize, unless you're Roman, who asked ahead of time. Gabbin the Grouch, is he on? Look in chat. Let me just see if he's on here. I don't see him. He's not on. So guess what? We get to redraw. Nope, I don't see him. All right.
I don't see him.
I don't see him either. Ready? And if he happens to hop on 5 seconds after I do this, then Troller Games will give that too. So here we go. Icarus, yeah, he's on. Icarus 1030, you're the winner. Awesome. I know Icarus is on. He's been on all night. All right. So that's the first one. Icarus, congratulations. And let me just scroll down, and he is, where is he? Yeah, he's on. Icarus is on. Absolutely. All right, Icarus, you are the winner of that. So, congrats. Here we go. And, oh, I was going to say this, but that's the wrong thing. So I have one of these left over from Virtual Greyhawk Con. And there you go. Nicholas is on. High Seas Horror paint set. It comes with Ghostfire, Skull and Crossbones, Chum Red, Shark Bite, Kraken Ink, and Squad Green are the colors. All right, this is a limited. Excuse me?
I have to run right now.
See you, Tim. Have a good one.
Later, Tim.
Yeah,
All right,
Tim.
here we go. I'm going to give this away, and then we're going to raid. All right, the winner of this is, and I need your address on this. Icarus, give me your email. If I don't have it already, I may, but just put it in there. The winner of this is Prometheus. Oh my gosh. Well, guess what? Prometheus is the reason I have this. He probably will donate it back because he's in Canada, I believe, and I swapped this out for another Troller Games winning. So I'm assuming he would. I don't think Prometheus is on yet either. Let's check and see if he's on.
Yeah, Prometheus won something from us last week too.
Yeah,
so.
he did. It
Big
was
winner.
Oh, so what do you want to do? Remember, you donated this back last time. Do you want
It's destiny.
Yeah.
So many people saying fixed.
That's so funny. So Prometheus, do you want me to redo this? It's to Canada. That's the problem with the shipping. The shipping is going to be a massive amount, but see if I can get you
minimum $20.
I'll see if I can get you another Troller Game discard. How's that sound? Yeah, Orion's got a copy coming. Does that sound fair, Prometheus? I'll get you another Troller Games $10 off. Sound good? Just say yes in chat if that's okay. If not, I'll ship it. It's all right.
You know what, Jay? Actually, High Seas Horror sounds a lot like Horror in the Hools, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, High Seas Horror. Yeah. It absolutely does. All right, here we go. Yeah, I wish we had digital. Thank you. I'll work something out with you, Prometheus. That's the ironies of that. Here we go. One more winner. Romans 44. I know you're on because you just Romans 44. Grats. You got it. Email me your address and I will send it out. Oh, Romans is the one that said he had it. Yeah, I excused him. Remember? That's
He's
so
the
fun.
one who.
That is so
Yeah,
freaking
who gave you
funny.
the heads up, so you'll have to send him a message.
I will do that. I will send him the message. Yeah, I gave him permission. All right. thanks all. Let's raid into great night, great discussion.
Good
You were
times.
all wonderful.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging in there a little late, Carlos, especially.
Great
I know you're
audience.
beat, fantastic. All right, so Baboonsky is going to give you Chuck's going to give Prometheus a $20 off. Look at that. Look at how great Chuck is in chat.
Damn.
For Troller Games for that
That's awesome,
donation
Chuck.
back.
Mhm.
Thank you so very much, Chuck. I really appreciate that. Just send that to me via Discord, and I'll get that taken care of. And
Chuck and Troll Lords, we need to talk.
fantastic company, and that's why I have stacked out a couple adventures I'm running in the Norwell area where they fit perfectly. I got a couple of them coming, and I'm good. I did Shadows of the Halfling Hall. I'm going to do one or two other ones, and we'll discuss that in a future date. So let's do this raid. And
I think,
yeah,
Jay, I think
Yeah,
the
right
next campaign I run is going to be a Castles and Crusades rule set.
good,
Oh.
old school.
Nice.
Old school. Have a great night, everyone, and hang in there for this raid, please. Let's
Yeah.
let's crush these guys. Let's crush this out with a lot of people going in and surprise Luke and them. This would be fantastic. So here we go. I'm setting the raid up right now. Gary
Sounds
Con.
good. Bye, everybody.
Let's make it more. They got 59 viewers. Let's bring in more than what they have.
Rude.
72, 75, 76, 77. That is awesome. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you all Wednesday night. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Where do you see that? That is so awesome.
So I'm about ready to
Crash.
drop dead right now.
Crash, man. Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah, no problem.
See you
guys.
soon, Carla.
Yeah,
Great seeing you,
thanks
Carlos.
for inviting me to this. I'm
Oh, Carlos, it was
so
awesome.
happy
Thank
to
you.
take part. And thanks for all your kind words. For those of you guys who said you wanted to collaborate with me, thanks for saying that, and I will definitely, we'll all be in touch. You guys know where you can reach me.
Carlos, we'll be
Yeah.
definitely be in touch.
Take it easy,
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
See you, Carlos.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Going. Did we really hit them on a break?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
That's
still
what
working.